Good afternoon. I'm Eric Reeser. Authorities in Michigan say a decision on Sherrone Moore will not happen today. The former Michigan football coach remains in protective mental health custody after an arrest Wednesday for an alleged assault that took place shortly after he was fired by Michigan. The dismissals due to inappropriate relationship with a U of M football staff member. On the football side of things, the Wolverines are in Citrus Bowl preparations. They're scheduled to play Texas on New Year's Eve. Associate head coach Biff Poggi will serve as interim for the game. New NCAA rules won't allow players at Michigan to enter the transfer portal until 5 days after the school hires a new head coach or the new winter portal opens on January 2nd. In the NFL, tonight the Buccaneers play the Falcons at 8:15, and Boone Jenner's back for the Blue Jackets. They look to hold a 3-game slide, hosting the Ottawa Senators tonight at 7. Elvis Merzlikins looks to get the nod in net Thursday. We'll have Blue Jackets coverage tonight at 6:30 right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, here we go. Rothman and Ice, as we grab the baton and take it the rest of the way. And in the infamous lyrics of an old song in the late 70s, I'll add one word. Oh my, Sherrone. Good grief. This happened late afternoon. We'll get to all of it. We'll keep you apprised of any details we know. We are Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matty Ice Hayes, and the rhyme time behind the glass. Fellas, it's good to see you.
Yeah, man. It's good to see you, too. It's good to see you as well.
Did you get the news the way I did via the ESPN alert on the phone?
So, yes, that's how I got the news. So, leaving here yesterday, had to make a little pit stop, went and got some gas, AR, and, I was like, hey, I'm going to go to the gym. Going to the gym, right? So, I get to the gym and get off the treadmill, and the alert pops, and I say, Sherrone Moore's been fired. My mind goes to, well, it can't be for football reasons. Like, that just wasn't on, I think, anybody's bingo card that Sherrone Moore was on some type of hot seat for football reasons, right? And then all the information comes out. And before we even get to any of that, so I'm sitting there at the gym, and I just stop on the treadmill. I just stop. And I just like, all right, I'm going to get on social media and start reading stuff. In the buzz, AR, that I could feel around the gym of people getting the same information that I was getting at the same time was wild to see. I saw grown men fist pumping, dapping each other up. Obviously, Buckeye fans were loving the news that they were getting. So that's where I was yesterday, and it was just a wave of buzz throughout the building that I was in because it started popping up on the TVs, and everybody was getting the alerts on their phone. And yes, as the details came out, the story is just absolutely bananas. Crazy.
He was never truly a threat to Ohio State outside of the fact that when he won, when Harbaugh was suspended and he beat Ohio State, and it was almost like he didn't carry the same pressure and was able to go into the game. And then you add the scandal, and he survived that. And somehow, and he was probably more than happy to take that deal through 2029 that paid him, I think he started 5.5. I don't know where he is now. And the fact that he was more than willing to shepherd the program through whatever, as long as he was kept fairly clean, that I think he would ride it out. Why wouldn't any assistant coach take that job if he had any success? And he had instant success against his rival, which made him even more valuable in people's minds. I never really thought he was a franchise coach, but you couldn't argue with right out of the gate, they were able to get it done. And everybody else, the rats off the ship and whatever, and he stayed there and weathered whatever storm was going to be there. Now, he's not the definition of a fall guy, because the definition of a fall guy is exactly that, a guy who takes the fall. Like, he didn't have to. He got the money. He got the contract. He just had to somehow stay clean.
There was a couple games where he was suspended, right? You had the recruiting violations. You had a little bit of the
based on that past stuff, though.
No, for sure. But he had to eat some of that, right? But it was an absolutely ridiculous punishment. If you're a Michigan fan, you probably looked at that and said, okay, we can deal with that. But yeah, it's just we just see people in life do crazy things that are just idiotic, and this is one of them. And not even just speaking directly to the Michigan job, but just any job like this that you get, like fumbling it the way that he fumbled it is just unreal, and it's just stupid. And he isn't the first guy, and he probably won't be the last guy to step in a situation like this, because we've seen stories like this around sports for years, man. Guys having inappropriate relationships with people on the staff or whatever it may be. And you mentioned, like, this guy's never been a head coach before, anywhere. Head coach anywhere, and especially at a level like this in the Big Ten at a program like this, and to flush it away, man, it's just one of the dumber things I've seen in a long time.
He was already there. He was willing to take the heat to get the contract and the money and the prestige that came with that job. Who in the world wanted that job at that point? You didn't know what the penalties were going to be.
Right.
You didn't know what you were signing up for, but he was signing up for big money, which made sense. So by yesterday evening, and the story, so the first time I thought, when I heard cause, the first thing that went through my mind was that joke from The Office, cause I hate him. I think when he was fired for cause, I thought, all right, that takes my mind away from, I guess, unless something followed him from the scandal that was just surfaced, right? So my mind went to instantly, all right, well, they eventually wanted to flush their whole program out of that stuff. Like anybody that was truly associated with it, or even there at the time, that eventually you had a shelf life. And I thought he had a shelf life, unless he won, right? Unless he beat Ohio State again. And then maybe they'd find a way. Now, I don't think this, even if he beat Ohio State this year.
That wouldn't have saved him.
I don't believe so, based on the fact that if you believe the timeline that they were investigating this summer, and what goes through my mind is that either she denied the relationship and he denied it, and there was no real credible evidence, no witnesses, nothing that they really wanted to go into. And then there must have been enough that they couldn't ignore to hire that outside firm to say, all right, let's Magnum PI this thing right, and find out what's going on. And yes, it sounds like allegedly he needs help, that his life crumbled around him in a very classic tragedy of infidelity with a young person, younger, who was clearly impressionable and was a subordinate of his, and probably was, as I say, very impressionable. Here's the head coach.
But she knew what she was doing.
Oh, I'm not saying she wasn't more than involved in the relationship, but as a subordinate of his, he's the guy that's certainly on the hook for all of this. And I'm not saying that she wasn't a willing participant, and I don't know this for a fact, but she's not. Because the first thing that went through my mind and people's minds were, okay, is she underage? Is this going to get very serious? Is she a student? You know, and you kind of dig into it a little bit. It sounds like she graduated from Purdue. Her face has been plastered everywhere on the internet.
Yeah.
And the fact that if this is true that she was making, you know, 45 or 50,000 in this recruiting support staff position, and then was doubled to 90 grand.
Yeah.
To your point, she took the raise.
She took the raise, and so there's kind of screen grabs of what you're talking about floating out there on social media, and it looks like between 2022 and 2023, she was making 58 grand. Same thing for 2023 into 2024, 58 grand again. And then there was a massive leap, as you just alluded to, from 2024 to 2025.
That's a smoking gun.
To 90 grand.
If you're in the administration.
Correct. There's no doubt. And so there's just a lot of crazy rumors that are out there as to why she did get that financial boost. And look, it's all just stuff that's not, I think, officially reported, but there's some stuff out there that maybe she was pregnant and he didn't want her to go through with the pregnancy, and maybe that's the reason why she found new money, all those things. Again, just rumors that are out there. But when you look at some of the money that she was making, and again, the leap that she was making, people are connecting those dots as maybe it was a little bit of hush money.
He's not even 40. He's a relative young head coach. He was in the second year of this. Was it a 5-year contract now? I'd have to go back and look now. I know he had money left, certainly on this.
Yep.
And Michigan terminating him for cause, that's basically a financial thing for them. Okay, so now we're relieved of that obligation. We don't have to pay him.
Right.
If this wouldn't have happened, this alleged post behavior, that he either went to her house, assaulted her, potentially battered her, who knows?
Threatened to take his own life.
Yes,
that's
then that turned, if this post behavior could lead to a problem for him in trying to recoup this money. Because I think most of these coaches that get fired like this are like, okay, breach of contract. I've got a defamation lawsuit against you. Michigan's a public university. They've got to satisfy due process and all these constitutional safeguards that are built in there, that all of a sudden you get litigation, like immediately. And then usually it results in some sort of severance or some agreement. That what I found interesting about yesterday was that Michigan put out, I believe, that they fired him for cause and then told you why.
The exact reason why.
Because that doesn't happen all the time. Like, it really doesn't. All they have to do is say, we fired him for cause. We're satisfied that our decision was appropriate. And then let him say what it was, or let people report what it was.
The only thing, AR, that I think I can remember being similar to that as far as getting an explanation from the franchise is when the Boston Celtics let Ime Udoka go. And they threw out there that he was having an inappropriate relationship with somebody in-house, and he was married to actress Nia Long. And they suspended him for I think it was a 22 season or a 23 season, and just eventually let him walk. And he's been able to come back into the league and be a head coach again and all of those things. I don't know if it was as nasty as some of the stuff that's being rumored as to what happened over the last 24 hours with Sherrone Moore. But that's one thing that I remembered was Ime Udoka being let go from the Celtics, and they did throw it out there exactly what happened.
What could he argue? And is he even in a mindset to argue the firing for financial stuff? It sounds like he's got way other priorities now to deal with, and whether he needs help himself is certainly out there. So we'll continue on that. Here's our menu today. So in the second hour, we'll have Gold Jacket Thursday. So at 1:17, Cowboys wide receiver, legendary Drew Pearson will jump on the program, and I may or may not ask him about pushing off on Nate Wright in the 75 playoffs.
Dicey.
I may or may not.
Dicey.
We will do more on this in the deep dive at 2 o'clock. So Bruce Feldman of The Athletic is clearly all over this story, and he'll be a good guy to tap into on where they will go next. We'll have him on at 2 o'clock, and we'll continue throughout this. But we kind of brush the surface on who is this staffer. But the other part of this now is, will Michigan be able to get out from this clean? We'll do that next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
'Tis the season to be hungry at Roosters. That's why for every $50 spent on Roosters gift cards, you'll receive a $10 Rooster Buck back in your stocking. May your holidays be filled with friends and family, love and laughter, and of course, Roosters Wings. Go to roosterswings.com today or drop by any Roosters location to purchase your $50 holiday gift cards and receive a $10 Rooster Buck in return. Happy holidays from all of us at Roosters. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Get an Eco.
ECO. Aaron, are we still doing that crazy thing you said?
Which crazy thing do you mean, Jerry?
You know, the one where we give away up to $1,500 in free repairs on furnaces?
Get an Eco.
ECO.
Yes, Jerry, we'll be doing that $1,500 giveaway from now on.
But why? It's crazy.
People are being told they need a whole new furnace when all they really need is a minor repair.
So we're saying they should call ECO to repair it and keep repairing it until someday when they really do need a new HVAC system.
We'll give them back all the money they paid us to fix their old furnace and air conditioner.
When they let us install the new ones.
All those extra years of service that they squeezed out of their old furnace and air conditioner become a free gift from ECO.
Does any other company do this?
Of course not, Jerry. It's crazy.
Get an Eco.
ECO.
Get an Eco.
ECO.
Generous plumbers, Merry Christmas electricians, and buy a kid a new toy this year, HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Timmy Hall here, proud to be back for my 4th year supporting Nationwide Children's Hospital and Light Up the Lawn, Light Up a Life. The holidays can be tough for kids and families spending it in the hospital. So now through December 31st, more than 100 giant illuminated butterflies will shine on the hospital lawn, each one sparkling to life with every single donation. When patients see those butterflies glow, they'll know their community's thinking of them, sending waves of hope and joy. So let's do this together. Let's light up the lawn and light up a life. Donate now at nationwidechildrens.org/give.
Fall is a season of change, and Hinderer Motor Company is turning over a new leaf with big savings. This is Justin Hinderer. Right now, any one of our participating locations is paying up to $3,500 over Kelley Blue Book value. That's right. Drive in your current vehicle and leave with one of ours today. Don't wait. The leaves are falling and so are the prices. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
Do you hate holiday pictures because of your teeth?
What if a brand new smile was possible?
No matter what the current state of your mouth.
Welcome to Runyon Dental Group, home of the Implant and Smile Center,
where gorgeous, healthy smiles become a reality.
At Runyon, we've built a team of some of the most highly trained arch and implant doctors in the entire nation. This isn't an ordinary dental practice.
We believe that everyone can have a great smile,
including you, especially you. Your new smile is waiting at Runyon Dental Group.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last. At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun, your way. That means every few minutes across Ohio, 20 out of 80 possible numbers are randomly picked. And if some of the numbers you picked match, voila, you're a winner. Keno doesn't require you to know a single thing about sports ball or overs, unders, pluses, minuses, or lines, or whatever else. Keno is as simple as, did some of my numbers match? They did? Great. You just raked in some dough. There are more than 20 hours of Keno draws every day and thousands of places to play statewide. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Sunday, a day of rest, relaxation, and Browns football. Catch the Brownies as they battle the Bears in the Windy City.
Live fan coverage starts Sunday at 11 with the Kick at 1.
Your radio home of the Browns, the Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The best bet on the radio. This is Rothman and Ice.
Yeah, it's salacious. The details of all the allegations, it's a laundry list of, oh my. Like this is not anything you ever want associated with your name. And you feel that I'm very careful also in, certainly the memes, the jokes are going to write themselves. All right. This is a rival of Ohio State. We're in Columbus, Ohio. I certainly understand all of that. When you step back from it for a half a second, you realize you got 3 young daughters and a wife who's not truly public. She's not really on social media, but now obviously her picture is going to be plastered everywhere. And there's collateral damage, big time. And if he caused it, then that's who they need to have their issue with. But you read the alleged Sherrone Moore scandal details, because I've had friends like text me, I need details. And I'm like, details of the truth, I don't know. I know the details of the allegations.
Right.
That he's married with 3 kids, that he allegedly had this relationship with this staffer, like you said, allegedly impregnated her, allegedly forced her into an abortion, allegedly doubled her salary. Then when his life was crumbling around him, went to her place
and crashed out.
Possibly forced entry.
Yeah.
Maybe had a weapon that he was assaulting her with. Then went sideways with a suicide threat to his own wife. And then police are involved and you're detained and then arrested and you spend the night in jail. And that's where we are. And this is incredible. Now, as I said earlier, in many instances, and you guys know this, when there's lawsuits over cause firings, it often leads to a settlement. Often, right? Even if it is for cause. Like they find a way, they find the money, they say, hey, would you drop the lawsuit in exchange for this? And they say, okay, that sounds good. Because these schools, they don't want to be in these litigations. They don't need lawsuits. And he's got every right now for due process and to fight whatever he wants. And most of the time you're scratching and clawing for the money. That this other stuff is not truly the motivation. But now he's probably scratching and clawing, A, for his own mental health and for his family. I have no idea where that's headed. Nobody would know. But if his contract indicated that without cause firing, like if they just want to we're done with you. We don't think you're the guy. We don't think you're the guy we want to entrust Bryce Underwood to. Yeah. Like, we think that Bryce may stay if we get him a better head coach or someone that's really, truly develop him as a quarterback, No,
I'm only laughing because you bring up Bryce Underwood, and the recruitment has already begun for a guy like Tyrann Mathieu, a former LSU Badger, tweeting at Bryce Underwood and saying, "Come on home, son.
Money talks.
Come on home, son." And money talks, and the Michigan people ponied up a lot of coin to steal Bryce Underwood away from LSU. And so that stuff is, if you're a Michigan fan, the scary part of this too is obviously your coach looking like a fool right now for some of the stuff that he allegedly did. But then your mind goes to, well, what the heck does the future of this program look like? Right. And you mentioned the family aspect of it, and that's no doubt real because that sucks for them for sure. But the other part of this too is, like, these assistant coaches are probably walking around and saying, well, man, we don't know what's next for us. We don't know what's next for us because we see change all the time. When there's change and a new head coach comes in, a lot of times they want to bring in their own guys. This is happening right now as we speak to the former Buckeye defensive coordinator and Jim Knowles. Rumors come out yesterday that he and Penn State were working on a buyout, and he's on his way to Knoxville. Matt Campbell comes in, probably has a conversation with him and says, I respect what you've done, but you're not my guy. And so that's the crazy part of this, too, is they got to figure out what the heck's going to happen with their staff. They got to move quickly, in my opinion. And also, if you're the higher-ups up there in Michigan, you better be in contact right now with the people that have spent a lot of money on your football program, because if you don't, and they're turned off by this a lot and say, yeah, you know what? We're going to hold back on giving you hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars, whatever that looks like. Yeah, this is could get really, really scary for them over the next couple of years if they don't get things in order quickly.
So that could go two ways. One, that the very rich donors of Michigan might try to buy their way out of this, meaning whatever it takes. We've got to make this. We've got to move on from this as fast as we can. Let's get the best head coach we can get. Let's offer him more money than he thought he would be tempted with, and then we can at least retain this class to the best of our ability. That may be the one way to go. The other thing is, I agree with you on losing Bryce Underwood. I don't think Bryce Underwood's committed to them for more than whatever he's committed in from year to year. I don't know that if these kids are signing NILs where they get all the money up front or they get it for 2-3 years and then they'd have to give it back. Like, I don't think that's the way it's truly going, but I wouldn't know
if he already AR was
spent the money
in the bed kind of with LSU before, and now they got Lane Kiffin down there, who's an offensive-minded guy and done some really good things over the last couple of years.
Climb aboard the Lane train
down there in Oxford. Yeah, I mean, they better be on the horn with him right now and probably all day, because I'm sure Lane Kiffin is probably talking to his people and saying, yeah, let's get in that kid's ear, see if we can get him back down here to Baton Rouge.
The price is going to be hefty.
Yeah.
And then you got to believe that he is who everybody thinks he is, which he showed glimpses of, but nothing in the Ohio State game that would make you think like he's a massive difference maker right now. He looked
like a true freshman. He looked like a true freshman, which is what he is. And so, like, to your point, the bet is, hey, the upside that we in high school and some of the flashes that we saw, we can fine-tune that and hopefully get some consistent stuff for him. But, yeah, you lose that guy, a Detroit guy for Michigan. That's pretty wild. But, yeah, some Buckeye fans, I'm sure, for sure, are looking around and saying this is karma. This is karma for the Connor Stallion stuff. Whatever. If people want to lean to that, hey, this is your day. Have at it. But that's out there. And the football gods, maybe you're having some of their say in the situation, too. Who knows?
Do you think Lane would want Bryce Underwood? Because it was Brian Kelly at the time.
I think if you're Lane,
I don't know how involved like Ole Miss was at all. It doesn't sound like it. I thought it just came down to LSU and Michigan.
I think he's got to be an option that you really think about if you're Lane Kiffin and kind of get that thing going. And if you believe in the talent, you look around and you just got to look at the landscape of the portal, and guys that maybe you can poach. And I just have to imagine he would be interested in Bryce Underwood and his upside.
They've been chasing the scandal ever since.
Yeah.
They thought they were kind of out of it. The head coach bolts. Other guys, we cut loose other guys. They've had other weird scandals. People on
recruiting stuff.
Coach with other stuff on the computer and a president. And
how appealing is it right now for a coach to come in? I can come in and kind of do my business, but
it's only
there's also this other stuff going on around me. I know it won't involve that coach.
So it's appealing for two reasons and two reasons only. the money, and the talent.
Yeah.
That's it. You bring up a good point on if there would be more fallout from this and whether they'd be banned from certain things, of course. But most coaches will tell you that they can only do so much with what they have talent-wise. They all need the horses, every one of them. Now, there's sometimes it's okay to buy low a little bit on a program because the expectations have dropped. And then the one thing you can't do is have above-average success in your first year when you're not supposed to. And then you've put the timeline off. Like, we'll talk about, like, the Kalen DeBoer stuff. Like,
what is that? I'm not understanding that.
Well, because he hasn't been at Bama more than a cup of coffee, and he's made a playoff now, and he's not even through. But the connection with him being from being a coach at Eastern Mich, and his wife being there from there, and that there may be more of an emotional tie. But leaving Bama, I mean, what if he would actually pull the unthinkable this year and get him to a championship game or even more? Like, if he doesn't just flunk out in the first round of the playoff, like, they're only going to give him more money.
I would think, and I love that you brought up the Michigan ties because, maybe that does weigh on some people for sure. I can understand that. But it's also like, you're at Alabama, man. Like, I don't know if I'm leaving Alabama for Michigan. And maybe part of it is, at certain fan bases around the country, it can get a little crazy if you're not succeeding at the level that they expect you to succeed at.
He knew that when he took the job.
No, for sure. But that's what I'm saying. Maybe a couple years into this thing, that type of stuff just has him maybe looking elsewhere. When his name popped up, I was surprised. Like, Kalen DeBoer is maybe interested, or maybe this is more coming from the Michigan side, that they're interested in him. I know Bruce Feldman.
We'll find out.
Yeah, 2 o'clock, we'll talk to Bruce Feldman about this because I know he threw that out there, and that was one of the names that he had right there at the top of the list.
Well, the other way you're going to find out is that Kalen DeBoer now has to come out publicly and say, I'm Crimson Tide through and through. Yeah. We're fighting for a playoff.
Anything short
I don't
of
want to
that,
go anywhere.
Anything short of that, that's where it gets a little strange.
If he says, I'm not discussing any other openings and I've got my mind on the playoff, if he deflects that way without a absolute no, which he would be entitled to do based on all these coaches want leverage. But behind the scenes, his agent would be, if he really wants to stay at Bama, his agent is like, you better do something.
Yeah.
Like, be careful here. Like, if they truly want him. All right, we'll come back in 2 minutes. Angelique Chingalis was on with Bishop and Friends, and it kind of leads us right into where we wanted to go and whether Michigan truly had a name in mind when they canned him yesterday. That's next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Toyota Thon-is on, and there's no better way to get in the spirit of the season than with a new Toyota, like the best-selling Toyota Camry. Now through January 5th, get 4.75 APR financing on remaining new 25 Camrys, or lease a new 26 Camry LE for $269 a month for 39 months with $36.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details, or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
The Christmas cash giveaways now at UDF. With UDrive Plus, 1 in 7 can play to win prizes instantly, including $1,000 weekly by buying specially marked items at UDF. No purchase necessary. Visit udrivecontest.com for official rules.
Things are going to be busy between now and the end of the year. You got holiday gatherings, school functions for the kids, families are getting together. I know. Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and the last thing you want to worry about this holiday season is whether your roof is going to make it through another Ohio winter. One call to Victor's Home Solutions, my guys, to schedule that free 21-point roof inspection will put your mind at ease, and you want to have a peaceful mind. A highly trained roof inspector will carefully examine every inch of that roof, checking the 21 most common areas of roofing failure. Then they go over their results with you and discuss your options going forward. Most of the time, problems can be fixed with a minor repair, but if it's time for a new roof, Victor's offers money-saving discounts and financing terms to make paying easy. And don't forget, they're so confident in their skilled installers, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. So call or go online and schedule the free 21-point roof inspection today. 866-VICTORS or online at victors.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The perfect ratio of sports talk, dogs, pro wrestling, and gambling advice.
It's science.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
This was the statement from Michigan AD Ward Manuel. UM head football coach Sherrone Moore has been terminated with cause, effective immediately. Following a university investigation, credible evidence was found that Coach Moore engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. This conduct constitutes a clear violation of university policy, and UM maintains zero tolerance for such behavior. As far as cheating during football games, no, I'm kidding. And so they bounce him now, and then the story just got more strange after that, that if he went sideways and felt like either this girl was the one that eventually got to the point where she said something, or maybe, total speculation, that word did get back to his wife. Or the allegations were there, and she heard, or somebody else that didn't like him, or somebody, just some college kid that wanted, a friend of hers. Who knows? It could be umpteen things that Michigan had to then say, okay, we have to look into this more. Because if they both were confronted with it this summer and said, no, there's nothing there, and Michigan probably said, okay, we believe you, and then more started popping up. And then they decided, okay, well, let's do this legit and hire a private investigation. Yeah. And then, now the timing of waiting till after signing day, it works and it doesn't, right? All these kids can bolt. Here's why it works. It works because, and I don't know for sure, because I don't know what every one of these kids, what schools they were considering. But if you were an athlete or I was ready to sign with somebody, and I had another 2-3 choices, and I signed with Michigan, and then I find this out and now I want to leave, and the places that were my second and third choices, well, those are filled up now. I don't have any real recourse yet. I might, but
it depends on the roster size.
That's right. But for people saying, "Oh, well, all these kids can leave," it doesn't matter.
If there's an opening. There's an opening, and that's why they got to hone in on, especially the assistants, because we saw how impactful that potentially was for Ohio State with Chris Henry, right? And he found out that Hartline's leaving to go take the head coaching job at USF, and he said, wait a minute, there's some pause there, because those are the guys you spend a ton of time with. Yes, this is your head coach, right? And obviously you're going to be around him, but the grind every day and the film sessions and on the field at practice, that's your guy. And so when you lose that, that's what could get weird for Michigan if some of these assistant coaches are going to have to look elsewhere, and then the recruiting stuff can start to fumble and go the other way, because they had a young team this year, talented guys. You look at the recruiting next year for them, it was pretty good. That was headed in the right direction under Sherrone Moore's watch, along with his assistants. And if so, they start to catch wind that, hey, your guy's not going to be here, then I'm not going to be surprised to see a bunch of those guys bolting and trying to find a new home.
Well, they have a little leverage in that Michigan is probably thinking, how do we Band-Aid this up? And we got to go to the best players we have. And then those kids may have some leverage. What will it take
to keep you?
Yes.
Yeah.
It might, to the right ones. And they might certainly have to find a head coach that those kids trust and believe in. And because they put their faith in the program and in this guy. And it just goes to show you, it was tough to keep this stuff quiet years ago. Imagine trying to do it now. You guys remember I remember when I first got to the station here in 2011-ish, 11-ish. And in 2012, this story pops up in Fayetteville, Arkansas, about Bobby Petrino having a relationship with an assistant that dated back more than a year. And that he was sending her candy, and then he was calling her a close friend. And he was suggesting that the affair that cost him his job started with a kiss over lunch in the fall. And it was raining. No, I'm kidding. And so all this stuff, and I remember, and I've played this, and it probably is worth it now. Yeah. I remember, so I get to the station, and now the difference a little bit is that Petrino was 51 and this girl was 25. Not exactly a Belichick. And this one is different. And I'd have to go back because I don't even remember whether Petrino was married at the time. I don't know.
I don't remember either.
I'd have to go back and look at that. If Sherrone is 39 and this girl's in her 30s, then it's not that. It's not like the inappropriateness comes from the fact that she was his subordinate, not that he was having an affair with a girl that was a few years younger or whatever. That's not it. But trying to keep this stuff quiet. And then the Petrino stuff, he was on a motorcycle. And I remember a lot of the stuff, they go back, back in, how long ago would that have been, Matty? 13 years, 14 years?
Right around there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what these coaches don't realize, and guys that are older don't realize, is that they didn't really grow up with all this technology. They know it now, and they can use it now. But they don't think to themselves, oh, goodness, how many calls, how many texts? Oh, my God, those can be recovered. Uh-oh, was they using a university cell phone?
You know what I think, too? I think some of these guys get drunk off power.
That's 100%.
You get drunk off power, and you're roaming around, and you're the guy, and I'm Sherrone Moore.
How about that a 25-year-old just found him attractive?
Sure, all of it, but I think like the ignorance when it comes to, because there's the videos of those two out there on the sideline together and walking around campus together, and when you start to get away with this time and time again, and then your brain connects it to it. Nobody's going to snitch on me. I'm the head coach of this joint. I brought some good times to this place. Nobody is ever going to snitch on me. Well, yeah, that usually doesn't work out. And so I think a lot of these guys are foolish in thinking that they can go out here and do this and that because of who they are and the position that they're in.
Petrino never disclosed his relationship with her. She was a former Arkansas volleyball player. She was hired, and when he got into that motorcycle accident, it all started to funnel out that she was on the bike and that it was the sun was in my eyes. I'm not an experienced driver, rider. Pollen. So I pulled this. This has honestly been in my little array here for 13 years. I've kept this.
Coach, how did you end up again from the site? Was anybody with you at the site? And how did you get from the site of the accident to the hospital?
Well, when I came out of a ditch, there was a lady there that had flagged down a car, and the guy that was in the passenger seat said, "Get in, we'll just take you right to the hospital instead of waiting there."
What would you say to any motorcycle enthusiast if they were in the same predicament that you were in and going around that curve?
Yeah, I think you really have to know what you're doing, know the weight of the bike, and I thought I did. Obviously made a mistake when I was
the weight
driving,
of the bike.
and I will wear a helmet from now on.
Were you going too fast, Coach? Were you? Was there wind? Was there an issue that caused you to crash?
Yeah, I was not. I didn't feel like I was speeding. I felt like I was going the same speed that I did when I maneuvered through those turns, going that way. There was a last thing I remember is looking up at the sun, saying, "Oh, I'm going to have the sun in my eyes the whole way back." And then there was a gust of wind that came up. Whether that did it, I don't know.
Were you given a blood alcohol test when you went to the?
I was given blood tests, but I absolutely had nothing to drink. I spent the day at the lake with my wife working. She works me hard when I'm up there, but I absolutely had no alcohol in my system.
Yeah. Okay. That was the press conference.
I forgot about the part where he mentioned that he was with his wife.
Well, on the farm or wherever, not
at the lake. So come on, man, that's crazy.
And the reason I replay that is because the lies kept getting longer.
Couldn't help himself.
And then it's one of those things that certainly he was embarrassed. It was a motorcycle accident turned scandal, and it was craziness.
His face was kind of cut up and red.
It was a road rash. He had a neck brace on at the presser, almost like if the old fashioned, like if you went to court and you were faking a neck injury to get paid. Like that's what he looked like. Oh, my neck.
Oh, and this lady was just randomly there, AR. Just randomly there. Yeah, the lady that was on the back of the bike.
Flagged down a car. I got to know about the weight of the bike. Yeah, when someone else is on it, it is weighted differently.
Correct. So, oh, my goodness.
It's where we are with all this stuff is the fact that how long did he expect to keep it quiet? Like, how long did he really think unless I don't know.
Yeah,
That's the thing about these personal relationships that are on the sly. That because no one's gonna. He would have been fired even if he wasn't married. Like, you would have been fired. Inappropriate relationship. Yeah. Of course.
No, can't do it.
The fact that that's involved with the 3 kids is just making it just
messier.
So messy.
Yeah, messier, for sure. Hey, if you're not looking for a motorcycle, but you're looking for a brand new vehicle, you're listening to the right guy, because I want to direct you to the McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion, because they're going to treat you like family when you get up there, the way they treated me. It's holiday season. Treat yourself. Treat the family to a new car. They have over 200 new vehicles on their website. All they believe in up there is transparency with every car deal they do. Take it from me. I've been loving my new car ever since. They got a 26 Equinox. You can lease it for $225 a month for 36 months with $4,369 due at signing, or you could finance for $399 a month for 84 months with $1,000 due at signing. Rules and restrictions apply. The McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion is an awesome place if you need a new car. Get on up to Marion today and check out my folks again at the McDaniel GM Superstore Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
And here's the biggest irony of all.
Yeah.
Where is Bobby Petrino right now?
Tell me after the break.
Arkansas's interim head coach. It is, you cannot write this stuff, right? Like,
I do remember that news coming out. Now you mention it. Yeah.
He's around, and it's just absolutely nutty. All these years later,
come on back.
Time heals. All right, we'll get to the next candidate for Michigan, and you'll hear what Angelique Chingalis had to say about that next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and Common Man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
You have a chance to win a beautiful new custom home or cash prize this holiday season with a Home for the Holidays raffle. And help make wishes come true for Make-A-Wish Kids. One lucky winner will be announced on December 24th, so get your $100 ticket now. Just visit ahomefortheholidayscolumbus.org to buy your tickets. That's ahomefortheholidayscolumbus.org. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, it's Matty Ice. Are you in need of a dependable truck for the long winter months ahead? Well, then my buddies at McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion have just what you're looking for at the best price around. You can lease a brand new 26 Chevy Silverado, $1,500 for just $339 a month for 36 months with only $1,379 due at signing. Or you can save up to $14,000 off MSRP if you finance. Certain restrictions apply. They're just off Route 23 on 95 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Do you suffer from leg pain, leg swelling, varicose veins, or leg ulcers? Dr. Barry Zeta and Dr. Joseph Senta at Ohio Vein and Vascular Polaris are pioneers in the vein and vascular field. Dr. Zeta and Dr. Senta can perform minimally invasive procedures that will get you back on track to a pain-free life. Stop living with leg pain and start the process to healthy living with a free healthy leg screening. Go to loveyourveins.com or call 614-426-VEIN. That's 614-426-VEIN or loveyourveins.com.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. The year is fast coming to an end, and maybe you have been putting off doing something you needed to do for a long time, like replace your windows. Well, it's too expensive. I'm not sure about the cost. I have got a solution for you, and you can get this done before the new year. Take advantage of Window Nation's end-of-year sale right now. They've got 50% off all window styles, plus you could get 0% interest financing for 5 years. And we always talk about the cost efficiency of these windows. They will keep your home warmer in the cold months, cooler in the warm months, because they keep the energy you're putting into your house inside your house. But you know what? They also look great. They've got so many styles that'll help beautify your home and protect it from the harsh elements. So check out Window Nation today. Schedule a fast free estimate now at windownation.com. I trust Window Nation because they get an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. They do a 50-point inspection of every window before it leaves the factory. And oh, by the way, they're a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. I like that, too. Schedule your estimate today. WindowNation.com.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, lift with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not that.
Of course he did. Right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch. So you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part, you can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Guys, my side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed. With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Finance agreement 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Jake Diebler's Buckeyes head to Rocket Arena in Cleveland for a battle with West Virginia.
Live fan coverage starts Saturday night at 7 with the tip at 8.
Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Truth of the matter is, you're listening to Rothman and Ice on 97.1 The Fan.
I had a friend of mine say when we have the Charles Barkley, the Rothman and Ice, not terrible.
Yep.
A friend of mine say, "Did I listen to you guys a lot?
Thank you.
When did you have Charles Barkley on?" And I said, "I don't think we've ever had him on." He's like, "Well, he does." I'm like, "Wait till I tell Frank." Like, that's the ultimate compliment, right?
Frank does it
for
for
somebody
Absolutely.
to say, "I don't remember you guys having Chuck on."
Absolutely. And one of the more impressive things that he's done, and he's come on with us for a few years, and it's awesome when we have him, is when I think you were just rolling down the names of the guys that he
Rapid
could do.
fire.
And this was not scripted at all. You just had the names that you knew he could do, and he was just in the blink of an eye transitioning in and out of those impressions. So, yeah, it's awesome stuff, man. Awesome stuff. Hey, and if you missed that, you miss anything from our show, you can always catch up wherever you get your podcast, because all you're going to have to do is type in Rothman and Ice, and everything we do from noon to 3 will be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the podcast as well, and Bet365 sponsors our podcast.
So, also, by the way, Michigan hired Kerry Combs just a week ago? Whatever that was?
They got Kerry up there. They got Tony Alford up there. All those boys up there, man. Shaky ground up there right now in Ann Arbor, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right. So Bishop and Friends did a great job on setting the table for all of us today. And they had Angelique Chingalis on, who's the sports writer from the Detroit News. And Bo asked her about whether Michigan, of course, they probably had a name in mind, but this kind of came fast and furious. Here's her response to that.
I think if you're a good athletic director, you have a list. And I've talked to Ward about this before, and he's like, yes, I always have a list. So I've got to believe that Kalen DeBoer has been on his list. I don't know if he's number 1 or number 2, but I believe he's been there. And I missed your second question about the bowl game.
Do you think they actually play in the bowl game?
Yeah, I wondered about that. I wrote that on my little list yesterday. Will they play? And I got to believe they will. They've got Biff Poggi in there as the acting head coach. But who knows? With attrition, there was always going to be natural attrition, guys who weren't going to play. But, yeah, I mean, look, I'm not really interested in going to Orlando. So they asked me for a vote. I know where I stand.
Well, it wouldn't be an uncommon thing. I mean, I don't know how you get all that group together with Biff Poggi. Now, don't con me, Biff. Anything? Just finishing up just starting the second code down, Mr. McFly.
Yeah, I knew Back to the Future.
Okay, nailed it.
You know what?
Can you imagine replacing Sherrone Moore with a guy named Biff?
I would have eventually got there when you mentioned McFly, because that's the sneakers, right? Like that in there, the sneakers that came from that movie, something McFly's in them. Am I making that up?
I mean, they may have come at some point with those laces that tied themselves at some point. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure
a
that
limited
happened.
edition,
Yeah.
and they assumed they called him the Marty McFly.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I think that did happen.
How does he not have any Back to the Future drops back here?
Because he's unfamiliar with the flick. I've aged out, as they say in the industry, Maddie. I've aged out. Okay, Biff, tell us what you think you're going to do for this football team. Man. I'm just starting the second coat now, Mr. McFly. Now, Biff, don't con us.
So their bowl game is the 31st.
I don't even know.
Let me go find their bowl game, Eric, because I feel you on that. Bowl games at this point outside of the playoff, it's like, what are we really doing?
But, Maddie, what about the student athlete that might want to play? Let the kids play.
I think they'll play. I think they will play.
Let them play.
They play in the Cheez-It Bowl.
Archmania's going to elevate his draft stock here.
Against Texas.
How could Angelique not want to go to the Cheez-It Bowl?
So it's the 31st at 3 p.m.
Cheez-Its.
Yep, 3 p.m. on the 31st.
3 p.m.
There you go. I think they'll play. They got time for this to calm down a little bit. I'm assuming the players will want to play.
You think Biff wants to play? No, Biff, don't con us. You really think you can do something in this game?
What do you think? You think they'll play or not? I think they'll suit up.
They'd love to play just as a deflection of things, but I don't know.
I mean,
can you imagine being
away?
A player now? I mean, I guess if I get paid to play.
Hey, man, those Vimos have already come through, man.
How does the NIL work? So they're supposed to play
same day as Ohio State
Texas?
at 3 o'clock. Yes.
See, on paper, if none of this happened, that's actually a game I would kind of be interested in.
You can get into that, for sure. Bryce Underwood, Arch Manning, those guys, I'm into that, for sure.
And going to Orlando in December, I don't know why that's a problem.
No, not at all. You get some
free trip to Florida.
Some of those white cheddar cheeses to bring home with you, too. It's a win. You like the toasted one. I do like the duos. You like the toasted ones, right?
I had a big kick for the toasted ones.
Yeah, you were on those for a while.
I was, as they say, jonesing for the toasteds. And now I don't care. It's whatever. I just got to be careful not buying the family size.
I do that too. Like I'll get in a phase with something, like I'll just stick to it for a while, and then I'm just like, I don't want it for like a year. I don't even want to see it in my face. So I feel you on that.
Maddie, what else would you like? Why don't you just tell me another topic you'd like to know about? She says, I'll give you a couple, and I'll spin the wheel of Angelique Chingalis here.
Real
Ready?
quick, can we do that at the top? Because I just want to dig in on the Kalen DeBoer thing.
The top one?
The Kalen DeBoer thing is so fascinating to me. It's just so fascinating to me because I understand that Alabama fans may look at this guy and think, I don't know. But you got to be careful if you're Alabama, too. Because if that guy leaves, who are you replacing him with? Because the head coaching cycle is it's really settled over the last couple of weeks with Kiffin and some of these other guys signing extensions to stay at their school and all of that. Who would be a prime candidate to step in and fill the shoes of not just Kalen DeBoer, but just Bear Bryant and Saban? And like, who is the next guy in line?
I always thought it was going to be Dabo. Like I always thought
I don't even know how much Dabo wants to coach it.
Well, he's
when I hear him
proud
talk,
alum
honestly.
and all that.
No,
Yeah,
I know, I get that for sure. But I think that's the dangerous part too. Is if you're an Alabama fan that's just ready to push Kalen DeBoer out, better be careful what you're asking for, because I don't know if there's a guy right now that we can find to say that he's going to come in immediately and do a lot better than what Kalen's doing and maybe get them back to where Saban was.
I don't really know what Kalen thought he was signing up for. Like, of course you're going to have a rabid fan base in Bama, and that you've got to follow Nick Saban. Like, he knew all this. He took the money. He took the pressure. If he wants to leave because he can't handle it or feels like the expectations are too high at Bama, then he was sorely mistaken before he even took the job.
Is there anybody in-house, that played under Saban that would have any kind of interest?
Honestly, so we've already now taken a step past Michigan. Now we're worried about Bama. I'm not really sure who they've mad. My mind goes to.
Those are just the domino effects of all of this, right? If Kalen DeBoer is Michigan's guy.
He's a good coach. He led Washington to a national title game. He was at IU when Penix was there. I loved him when he was the OC for Penix.
Yeah.
Why do you think, Penix was very talented, but he was the one leading it?
To your point, a lot of winning has followed Kalen DeBoer. Even at the NAIA level, this guy was winning national championships and all that stuff. And so fans are patient, and I get that. But I just think playing that game all the time of, well, you're not doing what we've done in the past, so you got to go. Things can get a little spooky for you, but maybe, and then you're going to have to go, hey, can we call Dan Lanning and bring him back? He was a GA at Alabama. Like, those are the kind of calls you're going to have to make, and those can be tough.
If there's some sort of little coup here, and that DeBoer and his GM at Bama, who played and worked as GM at Michigan, if they're like, hey, this is our chance, let's get back there, or I'll get there, and then you can get the main job there if you feel like, then, okay, it's all in play, I guess. And we'll only know when DeBoer gets in front of a microphone and they ask him, would you be a candidate? If Michigan called, will you listen? Then he's got to say something. We'll come back top of the hour, and we'll hear on whether or not they have a candidate in mind, and if it's not DeBoer, who is it? Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Wake up with the Fan. Eat lunch with the Fan. Go to bed with the Fan. Dream about the Fan. Then change your sheets. Gross.
Ew, you guys are gross, but stick around in case I don't find anyone else.
The Fan.
'Tis the season for making memories. Give the gift of more time together at Dick's House of Sport and join us for family fun events all season long. Plus, climb a rock wall, test the multi-sport cage, and perfect your swing in a golf simulator. And shop the widest selection of the hottest brands like Nike, FP Movement, Adidas, Carhartt, UGG, and Stanley. Unforgettable moments start here at Dick's House of Sport. Visit dicks.com/House of Sport to see what's happening this season.
Does your vehicle need maintenance, but you don't have time? Krieger Ford's got you covered. Enjoy our convenient pickup and delivery service, or we come to you with our mobile service van. It's fast, easy, and hassle-free. Schedule your appointment today, only at KriegerFord.com.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle. Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score.
Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up, you get early payout on parlays too. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. And app only.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life.
There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. The holidays are here, and if you've got a collector in your life, you have to check out Midwest Cards. Thousands of packs and boxes from Pokemon to every sport you can name. It's a full-on collector's dream. Plus, they have signed jerseys and memorabilia that'll make any fan go crazy. The variety is awesome, and the selection legendary. So swing by Midwest Cards today, grab an epic gift or even a gift card, and watch your favorite collector's face light up this holiday season. Get to Midwest Cards today and tell them T-Bone sent you.
'Tis the season to not feel groggy. I know that's not how the song goes, but it's how the rush of the holidays can make us feel. Eric Reeser here and my friends at Hydrate Me Med Spa have the goods to keep you looking and feeling your best as the year comes to an end. 4 convenient locations in Central Ohio offering medical-grade IV and aesthetic treatments. If you're like me and get a little queasy at the thought of an IV, not a big needle person, I get it, but their staff of incredible certified nurse practitioners makes the process easy. Get your body ready for a successful holiday season by booking your drip today at hydratememedspa.com.
Dormar, your pilot hero.
When your furnace or air conditioner is broke, we come out that same day. Dormar, home the Tin Man.
It's the Kia Season of New Traditions sales event. So don't just hang your own lights. Look for the northern lights. Drink cocoa on the beach. Or be a drive-by karaoke caroler. Because every new Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. So you can take holidays to places they've never been with a capable Kia SUV. And right now, get 0.9% APR for up to 60 months for well-qualified buyers and $1,000 bonus cash on the purchase of specially tagged new 2025 Telluride, Sorrento, and Sportage models. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Financing for 24 to 60 months from Kia Finance. Subject to credit approval for purchase of a new 2025 Telluride, Sorrento, and Sportage. $1,705 per month per 1,000 financed at 60 months. $1,000 bonus cash on specially tagged models must be applied as down payment. Must take delivery by 1/2/26. Offers may not be combined except where specified. Subject to dealer participation and vehicle availability. See Kia dealer for details.
Ho, ho, ho! Santa Bucks are back at Meijer. This Friday and Saturday only, save up to $50 with Santa Bucks. Stack your Santa Bucks on top of super sale items to save even more on popular brands like Crock-Pot, Keurig, and Cormia. Clip your Santa Bucks coupon in the Meijer app for low prices and more merry for your money. This Friday and Saturday only, Santa Bucks and Meijer. Now that's what makes the holiday season a good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. The big story of the sports world, Michigan firing head football coach Sherrone Moore due to an inappropriate relationship with a staffer. Angelique Chingelis joined Bishop and Friends earlier and was asked if she could see Kalen DeBoer taking the job.
I think from people I've talked to that there is interest, that they believe that there's interest. From what I've heard, when he was at Washington, he would tell people that Michigan and Alabama are two programs he could see himself coaching.
The Columbus Blue Jackets back on home ice hosting Ottawa at 7 tonight. Boone Jenner makes his return to the CBJ lineup. Pre-game coverage here on The Fan begins at 6:30. The 21st ranked Ohio State women's basketball team in action hosting Northern Kentucky at 6:30. This one's sponsored by The Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. Together to serve you better. Scheduled today at thewaterworks.com.
What's up, knuckleheads? You're listening to Rothman and Ice on The Fan. It's not terrible.
Look at that. Spoke it into existence.
I see you, LeVar Ball. Just speaking things into existence over there. That is crazy.
It's when we had Chuck on the show.
You didn't do that on purpose, did you, Rhyme Time?
We'll have to wait and see.
Oh, okay.
Well, that sounded like a Kalen DeBoer response.
You're supposed to say no. You're supposed to say no. It just magically happened.
Kalen DeBoer is 51.
51? Okay.
He's 2 years ago, he led Washington to a national title game where they lost to Michigan, ironically. Imagine that coming full circle. He's from South Dakota. Spent a couple seasons, as I mentioned, with the Indiana Hoosiers as an OC. What people close to him, if you believe it, that he and his family like it in Tuscaloosa. That it's not a complete just aversion to wanting to live there. And if they were to lose to Oklahoma, he's in play. When is their game?
The 19th. So they will suit it up next
8 days?
Friday. Yes, sir. So there obviously will be media availability for him probably to kick off the week. And I'm sure those Alabama beat writers are licking their chops to pop off that question, because that's going to be one of the biggest questions for any head coach to answer over the next few weeks.
Is he just close enough to the game that he can sidestep definitive stuff? Like, is he just close enough?
We could play the card of, hey, we're focused on Oklahoma. I want to make sure my guys are ready to go, yada, yada, yada. He can probably get away with that.
It's tough.
But
tough not to be able to say no. But people would understand, like most close, because he hasn't been in Bama for forever. So it's weird if he wouldn't say, no, I just got here.
Yeah.
I want to build something here. This is Alabama. Like, I have just as good of a chance to be successful here as anywhere. So that's what people are going to want him to say. And he probably could. I mentioned his general manager at Bama. I always find that weird that I have to use that phrasing. The general manager of a...
Yeah, Andrew Luxagy out there at Stanford.
General manager at Alabama, Courtney Morgan, played and worked as a GM at Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have... So let's hear... This is Angelique Chingelis on DeBoer and other potential candidates. This is from Bishop and Friends this morning.
Yeah, I think from people I've talked to that there is interest, that they believe that there's interest. I don't know if there's actually been conversations with him or his people, But, I think that from what I've heard when he was at Washington, he would tell people that Michigan and Alabama are two programs he could see himself coaching. And I think that's what people are relying on. And I think it's, who knows how, and you'll find out from Feinbaum, how is he accepted at Alabama? Start of the season, it sure didn't sound like it. That woman was going to give up her lottery money to get rid of him to pay his buyout. Then they started winning, and now they're in the playoff. But it's I don't think it's a perfect relationship there with DeBoer in Alabama, and maybe that works to Michigan's favor, and maybe it isn't. But people are throwing out Jed Fish, a guy at Washington who's been at Michigan. There are a few other names floating, but I think number one target right now is Kalen DeBoer, and that's the one I'm watching to see if that will come to fruition at this moment.
So we talked about this earlier. It's going to take somebody who either emotionally has a feel for Michigan or isn't getting paid as much as they could get paid here, and also feels like they can retain and get talent and win there, who doesn't have a good enough job right now. The Bama thing is interesting to me because they were a no-show in an SEC title game. And I don't know if anybody really had them truly beating Georgia again, but they didn't have them as a no-show. And so when you no-show in that big of a game, I could see the fan base saying, all right, I could take him or leave him. Now, he wants to go, let him go.
However, you went into Georgia's house earlier in the season.
Of course.
And you beat him.
And he had a gauntlet of a schedule,
right.
Even though he had a bad loss.
Yeah.
He had some very good wins, and he found a way to not lose his team.
Yeah.
Like he did. So you got to give him that kind of credit. But I think this fan base, are they ever going to buy into him unless he wins it all? And it doesn't look like he's going to win it all this year. And fans are very much what have you done for me lately? They don't want to wait. They want to know right now whether you got the guy.
Well, especially when you have a standard that was left behind by Nick Saban. And that was part of the reason why when the Penn State job became available, I'm like, that's tough. Now, clearly there's levels between Alabama and Penn State, but the mind of the fan, I think, is now trained to a point to where over there they're thinking, well, James Franklin did this, so the next guy better be able to do that and then some. And if you're Kalen DeBoer, if you're now Matt Campbell, that is a real pressure-packed situation. And I don't know how comfortable that is for a lot of guys. And it seems, based off of some of the breadcrumbs that are out there right now for us to follow, that maybe that is a very uncomfortable thing for Kalen DeBoer to fill those shoes and have to live up to that standard and hear the noise and how loud it can get, especially when you start the season losing to Florida State the way that they lost. Because that was a very ugly loss, too. I mean, the final score of that one was 31-17. And so, yeah, I can see how that can wear on people. But she did say that was one of his dream jobs. And so what would make him want to split outside of anything other than the fan pressure and the noise that comes along with it? I can't look at anything else because it feels like he's got some good structure and some good momentum going right now. But maybe that's just not going to cut it in his mind. And clearly in the fan base's mind, it's not good enough right now either.
Weird part for Michigan would be is if Kalen DeBoer has a bad game and loses to Oklahoma. That means his last two would be awful. And then you trot him out there like, okay, he finished the year atrociously at Alabama, but he's our guy. Like that, you're not getting him on a winning note.
I think you talk yourself into some of the other candidates that are potentially out there, whether it's Jed Fish or, and I know Bruce Feldman, who we talked to at
Real quickly, Fish is a former Michigan assistant.
Former Michigan guy, and, Bruce Feldman threw out Manny Diaz at Duke right now, and some of those guys. And so when you start to compare Kalen DeBoer and his history at Washington and at Indiana and what he did at the NAIA level and all that stuff, then you're like, okay, this guy with us will get things corrected. And, look, Michigan's got a lot of financial support right now when it comes to NIL, and so you pair that with the financial stuff and what you think you can be as a fan, and you start to believe again, and what Kalen DeBoer could do. So I don't think they would get caught up too much in two losses back-to-back, and I think they'd be more big picture and belief that way, or delusion, as some people may label it.
Listen, if I was a donor for Michigan, a big donor, this is a welcome day for them. Not the embarrassment of it. That's awful. And not the potential losing of recruits. But if you think about it, if you're a big Michigan donor, you're like, you didn't believe that Sherrone Moore was like this franchise coach anyway. He caught a little lightning in a bottle during a Connor Stallion scandal time. Like, if you didn't totally believe in him, this is fine. He's gone. You may not even have to pay him.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, you just kind of suffer through the embarrassment of one man's horrible decisions, allegedly, and then you try to get the best coach you can and you move on. Like, honestly, they're probably like, this is good. From the Bama standpoint, that's a weird one because I don't know if the fans truly believe he can't coach or that but who's going to really be Saban? You don't know. If he actually pulls something off here in the playoff, if he were to beat Oklahoma and upset Indiana, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now he doesn't have to win it all even this year. No. And then in his mind, two things happen. He either leverages a playoff run into more money with Alabama, and he decides, I wanted to be here anyway, and now I get a little run, and now they're worried I'm going to leave, and I get more money. Or he looks at it this way. All right, I can make peace. I wasn't a flunk out here. I took him on a little run. Now I'm going to go back to the part of the country that I know really well and buy low on Michigan and leverage into a great contract and I'll live my life there and try to win a title for them. Either way, if he pulls off a run, it helps him in both camps.
If he pulls off a run, I think Bama fans will be saying, we got to do everything we can to keep this dude. I think
the run would only be upsetting the number
games
one.
And beating Indiana. I think they see that. Then there's the belief of, okay, maybe we were, a little too hot and heavy on Kalen DeBoer's bumper there to start the year. Now this guy's kind of shown us what he can do over 2 years, and now we made a little run in the playoff, and let's see this thing through.
All right, up next, we will attempt to throw the Hail Mary up to Canton and connect with Mr. Gold Jacket himself, Drew Pearson. That is next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic. Oh, yes. Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, it's Austin Ward. Listen to The Beat with Austin and Byrne, now powered by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Get the latest Buckeye news, insights, and unbeatable analysis every day. Don't miss a moment. Stream The Beat with Austin and Byrne, sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
It's the year-end sales event with the Ford crew.
It's sales event time, Sam.
Temperatures are dropping, but the deals are just getting hot.
Time for our annual Ford Holiday Gift Guide.
Oh, yeah.
Hard to go wrong with great deals on trucks and SUVs from Ford, America's all-time best-selling auto brand.
Don't forget the first rule of holiday gift giving, Hank.
What's that, Sam?
Always remember to treat yourself, too.
Well said.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert. Presenting the Ghosts of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. December 23rd, 2 shows, Nationwide Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. A portion of the proceeds benefits the James and Heather Pick Music Program.
Sometimes a girl in my class doesn't bring anything to eat for lunch.
The truth is, in America, 1 in 5 kids worry about their next meal.
I want everybody to have yummy food.
So do we. That's why Kroger donates surplus fresh food from our shelves to your local food bank. We've provided over 3.5 billion meals through our Zero Hunger, Zero Waste plan. Visit Kroger.com to see how you can help fight hunger and waste in our community.
Because nobody should have an empty tummy.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront cost before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun. Your way. That means you pick your wager. Will it be $1, $2, a crisp $20? Your call. Like picking your own numbers? Use any inspiration you like. Birthdays, jersey numbers, you name it. And if you don't feel like choosing, there's the Super Quick Auto Pick. With regular promotions that'll get you more bang for your Keno buck, multiple ways to win, prizes galore, and live draws every few minutes. Anytime is the right time to get in on the Keno action. Keno is always fun, your way. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly. With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
How many different ways can you consume morning juice? Let's see. Live on YouTube, live on the Fans HD3, podcast on demand, and on 10 TV Plus. And we'll send Bobby right to your house.
Weekday mornings from 6 to 8.
The Fan. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Hey there, Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens with your latest forecast. We're looking at some flurry activity that should decrease as we head into the day. Temperatures in the low 30s. More snow chances return tonight and into Friday. Highest impacts to the southwest of Columbus. We'll see another chance for snow this weekend before bitter cold air returns early next week. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Gold Jacket Thursday.
Presented by the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
All right, we'll connect with our guy Drew Pearson here in moments. Stay close. I do love his story. Because I think when you talk about Pro Football Hall of Famers, and it's a common assumption to think that they were already made, that this was an automatic, and that you just can't hold back talent, and it always shines. And sometimes it takes situations. Certainly when your receiver takes the quarterback, that's a tandem. And when he got to work with Roger Staubach, of course, that helped.
That'll work.
But I do think that the coolest part for me about getting to interview guys that I grew up loving and watching, or even in a weird way sports hating because they were so good or they took my team out, was when you get a Hall of Famer that was undrafted. That to me,
it's cool, really cool,
is amazing.
Yeah.
And I think that's his story. And when Rhymes gives me the thumbs up that we got him on the line, we will go to him. But I think, and they invented the Hail Mary. You know, we talk about the Hail Mary as something that's cliche. That was invented by he and Staubach in 75. I'm sure he knows the story, and I'll ask him. And here's my intro, because from undrafted out of the University of Tulsa to a 3-time first-team All-Pro receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, where he played his entire 11-year career, leading the league in receiving in 1977, voted to the All-Decade team in the 70s. He's in the Cowboys Ring of Honor, but finally the ultimate honor, and it is the ultimate one. It's his place in football heaven. He was enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2021. He is Drew Pearson. Drew, can I get a...
Hood.
There you go.
That's what you're looking for.
Drew,
Hood.
I've been waiting for that. I remember your speech being so stirring to me, and I absolutely loved it. And 33 years, I know you had probably lost faith in the voting process. How did you deal with the heartbreak of knowing you belonged in Canton, but were not getting in?
I dealt with it by the grace of God, giving me confidence that maybe one day it would happen. The one thing I didn't do is criticize the Hall of Famers going in ahead of me. All I would say is if they're Hall of Famers, maybe one day I'll be a Hall of Famer as well. And so it's important that the guys that are waiting, you know, we got a guy named Garen Woodson who's been a finalist 10 times, okay? And I tell him just to be patient. This is the Pro Football Hall of Fame. You just got to wait your time. And once you get in, and I told him, once I'm in now, shut the door, make it harder for the next guy. I'm in already.
Yeah.
But anyway, speaking, it's just a tough process, and I just had to wait my turn. But the good Lord took care of me, and I'm a Pro Football Hall of Famer now.
I find it fascinating, as I'm talking to my great co-host Matty Hayes here, I find it fascinating, I mentioned him, to know that the NFL didn't draft you and you became a Hall of Fame receiver. What do you believe everyone was missing about you coming out of Tulsa, if they were?
Physically, that's probably why I didn't get drafted. It wasn't that big, At Tulsa, I played 2 years at quarterback and then 2 years at wide receiver. I wasn't that adept at the receiver position. I only caught 55 passes in 2 years at Tulsa. And so I wasn't that fast. I ran a 4.6 40. And so you put all those things together, and that makes you not draftable. But it turned out okay because not getting drafted, I got 3 phone calls the second night of the draft. This is after 17 rounds of the draft, okay? When that last phone call came, it was like midnight. But I got 3 phone calls. The first call was the Green Bay Packers. The second call was the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the last call was the Dallas Cowboys. And what made the difference was the Dallas Cowboys scout that made that call was in Tulsa. And he wanted to sign me right then and there to a contract. And he wanted me to go down to the Camelot Hotel to sign that contract. It was about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I said, sir, you got to give me a little time to sober up. I was trying to my sorrows, not getting drafted, drinking that nasty Boom Farm. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no doubt. That's great. And Drew, it's awesome to hear how much, obviously, the Hall of Fame means to you. But one thing that I think is really cool, and specifically when it comes to the Dallas Cowboys, is you setting the tone for the number 88 and what that number has meant to the franchise for years now, and how much of an honor it was for Michael Irvin and Dez Bryant and now a guy like CeeDee Lamb to wear that number. But can you speak to that, Drew, and when you hear about that tradition now and what that means to you?
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up because it is very special to me. It's very special because Mr. Jones, Jerry Jones, a Hall of Famer himself, treats that number that way. He respects that number that way. And when I retired, I started calling myself the original 88. I'm not the first one to ever wear it. But then when Michael was anointed with that number, he said, you might not be the first, but you're the first one that did anything in it. So you started the legacy, and then Michael took it over. But if Jerry Jones could pick the rest of his draft picks the way he picks 88, we'd be in the Super Bowl every year, because he hasn't missed yet. Michael Irvin's a Hall of Famer. I'm a Hall of Famer. Dez Bryant is the Cowboys' all-time touchdown receiving leader, more than 3 Hall of Famers. So he had a nice career individually, but didn't have team success to go with that. And now CD has that. And also it's very special because when you look around the NFL, you don't see any other team treat a number that way and hold it for the next guy they feel is worthy to wear that number. So that makes it even more special. And 88, when I first put it on, I was so small, the 8s overlapped. They thought I was number 8 out there. Eventually, I grew into the double 8s.
Oh, you were so dangerous on the field. What was it like in the 70s going over the middle in this game, in that era? You talked about maybe being more of a skinny guy that obviously could catch like nobody else, but is the game much different in your mind? How dangerous did it feel going over the middle in the 70s?
Yeah, you said it right. It's dangerous, okay? You had to have a certain intestinal fortitude to go over the middle. And see, I needed to establish myself as something. I wasn't a speed guy. I wasn't a big guy. But I wanted to be that guy that went over the middle that made those tough catches because I wasn't big, and I thought that, oh, man, he'll never be able to handle that. But when I went over the middle like that, it wasn't random. It was calculated. I studied my opponents. I studied the safeties, their paths to the football, and that type of thing. So it gave me a little knowledge of what to expect by going over the middle. But that didn't prevent you from getting your head knocked off, okay? A lot of times you still had to take the hits. And, back then, they can hit you high, low. They can clothesline you. They can hit you in the helmet, head to head. It didn't matter. So that's what I wanted to do. And they called it, around Dallas, end up calling it the Drew Zone, the middle of the field, where only Drew would roam. And so I tried to make a career by going over the middle. And I was able to survive that. But later in my career, they changed the rules, and it made it a little easier because they eventually changed it to the one bump rule, and you can get up into the secondary. Now you leave the defensive back, you're up on a safety. And there's a reason he's a safety, and the reason is they can hit hard, and they're tough, but they can't cover very well. So I took advantage of those opportunities, and it worked for me, and I'm still here, guys. Okay?
Yeah. You touched on Jerry Jones when you were talking about the number 88. And, for us now, he's this guy that's obviously just a huge name in the sport and always will be remembered as one of the biggest names in the sport. So, do you have a favorite memory, favorite story of Jerry Jones and just being around that guy and what that was like for you?
Oh, wow. Let's see. Mr. Jones. No, nothing really crazy. But he does use me a lot, Oh, here's the story.
Because he wasn't your owner, right? I mean, he wasn't your guy.
Yeah. When I got in the Cowboy Ring of Honor. No, excuse me. When I got in the Pro Football Hall of Fame, all right? The way he approached it. This is after COVID and everything, so we didn't do the knock on the door with the Hall. So they did a special way to let me know that I was going into the Hall of Fame. They had Roger Staubach call me to meet me at Jerry Jones's office. And before we walked in, I'm asking Roger, what is this about? And I thought it might be Jerry including us in a real estate deal or something because he already constructed a high-rise condominium, and he labeled it the 12. I thought he wanted to do another high-rise condominium and call it 88, But Roger and I talked about it. We sat down and met with Mr. Jones, and we're talking to him. And next thing you know, there's a knock on the door. Mr. Jones says, go answer the door, Drew. I go answer the door, and bam, there's David Baker, the commissioner of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, there to tell me that I was being inducted into the newest class of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And so I turned around and looked at Jerry Jones, and he knew it was coming. And I'm looking, he had that grin on him, like he stole the canary, something like that. And then Roger Staubach's there laughing at me and all this. But that's how I got in. That's the way they did it to try to compensate from the knock on the door during the COVID, after the COVID period. So that was my association. And Mr. Jones, of all people, was the one that first told me that I'm going to be a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
Awesome. So. What a story. Drew Pearson with us, three-time first-team All-Pro receiver for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, so I'm going to give you kind of the ultimate kid compliment when I was a kid. So I loved you so much that, and I'm a Viking fan. I'll get that out there. But I loved you so much that I have your Topps football card still, but I never put it in my bicycle spokes. You were the one that stayed out of the bicycle spokes because I needed that card to be pristine. So nearly to the day, we're coming up on the 50th anniversary of the 50-yard Hail Mary in the 75 playoffs against my Vikes when Staubach sent it flying for you, and you caught the one before it as well. Drew, I love you, but I need to make peace as a diehard Viking fan. Let me know that was 100% legit and Nate Wright didn't get pushed to the ground, just so I can sleep now.
Well, you would think I would know where you were going with this, okay? And, it was legit, and there was contact with Nate Wright. And I used my outside arm to get inside position on Nate Wright to catch the football. And in doing that, bringing my arm around, I hit Nate Wright. And, we're playing football. Okay, this is a very highly competitive situation, playoffs and trying to win the game. So there's a lot of intensity involved. And then when I hit him, there was momentum. And I might have hit him hard, But this is not golf or tennis. We were playing football out there. And when I hit him, he went down. And as I brought my hands around, the ball was there already and it hit me in the hands and it went through my hands. And because I'm the original 88 and never dropped a pass, the ball ended up sticking between my elbow and my hip. and that's how I caught the Hail Mary.
I can handle it.
At the same time, making this catch, I saw this orange object being thrown out on the field, and I thought it might be a flag. But when the orange object hit the ground, it kept rolling. Flags don't roll. And you know what it turned out to be? An actual orange that somebody had thrown out of the stands after I made that catch. But I saw it out of my peripheral vision. I thought, oh, no, it might be a penalty on this play. But once that orange object hit the ground and kept rolling, I knew we had 6 points.
And you had
before that, sir, we had 4th and 17.
I know.
22 yards in the first down. So it was almost destined to happen in that situation. Yeah. And you were a young kid at that time, right?
But listen, you invented the Hail Mary. They're not taking that away, and they're not taking away Canton. And you're going to be there soaking it up this week. Friday, 11:30 to 11:50, the presentation. If Cowboy fan, NFL fan, pro football fan wants to meet and greet with Drew Pearson, 9 to 9:30 on Saturday, 10 to 10:30, you're going to be strolling around the museum, interacting with fans as well. It's going to be a great time, my man. And give me one more, Drew. Give me one more. There you go. I love it. I love it. Be well, my man. Enjoyed this very much.
And bring that card. I'll sign it for you.
I will. Perfect. Done.
All right.
Thank you, number 88, the original.
Yes,
that is
Thanks
Drew Pearson. Thank you. Be well. That is a Gold Jacket Thursday for the ages. We'll come back in 2 minutes with NFL picks against the spread. Rothman and Ice on the Fan. Hey, it's Anthony, and it's Happy Honda Days at your main Honda of Dublin. What am I going to give you? How about rates as low as 0%? You want no payments for 90 days? You got it. Do you have a trade-in? I'll make sure Rich gives you an extra $1,000 for your trade. Yep, an extra $1,000. Or I'll slide you right into a brand new Honda with leases starting from only $239 a month. Happy Honda Days right now at your main Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or online at yourmainhondaofdublin.com.
Planning to buy a home in 2026? Not sure where to start? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency can help. With a step-by-step homebuyer's guide and financial tools, the Ohio Housing Finance Agency can make homeownership part of your future. Eligible homebuyers may qualify for down payment assistance and reduced mortgage interest rates. To see if you qualify and to find a mortgage lender, visit myohiohome.org. Again, that's myohiohome.org. Homeownership. Make it part of your future. Sponsored by the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, aired by the Ohio Association of Broadcasters, and this station.
All the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hi, this is Max with Buckeye Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. We want to wish the community, our clients, and our team a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. We're incredibly thankful to serve such a great community with such an amazing team. It's an absolute pleasure. Thank you for being you. And when you need us,
call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Hey Columbus, Retail Rush is celebrating our grand opening. Designed with you in mind, Retail Rush offers great deals on name brand products at up to 90% off retail prices with fast, easy pickup that fits your schedule. Bid on great deals at Retail Rush for products like home decor, lawn equipment, and much more. Sign up now at retailrush.com, start browsing, and bid now. Retail Rush. Deals made easy. Bid now at retailrush.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice, NFL picks.
Sponsored by Roosters. Roosters is giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. Tickets, sideline passes, trips to a first-round postseason game, and more. Register today at roosterswings.com.
All right, Rhymes, line them up, bud.
All right, Thursday night football tonight. Falcons are at the Bucks. The Bucks are laying 4.5.
Lead us off.
Mike Evans is back in the building. Sounds like he's going to be on maybe a little bit of a shorter rep count here, so that'll be interesting to see. Emeka's kind of had some sluggish weeks, but hey, he's a rookie. Maybe he's a little gassed out. But I think now that there's some balance there, I'm back in on the Bucks. So, yeah, give me the Bucks, and I'll roll with them.
I feel like we don't know about Baker Mayfield's shoulder. Maybe not great, but because he's not thrown for a lot of yards lately. I don't know how you can roll with Cousins here. Short week. They're out of it. Evans probably is a boost for them. Certainly, I don't know how much he's going to play, but I feel like 4.5's a tricky number. Is that what you said it was? Yeah, it's a little tricky, but I'm going to side with the team that just needs it more and just hope that we're not across that key number. So I'll take Tampa as well.
A banged up Baker against Kirk Cousins. That's going to be real exhilarating. You got the Cardinals at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock game Sunday. We're going to go Cardinals at Texans with the Fighting C.J. Stroud's laying 9.5.
So, yeah, I mean, this is tough because on paper it looks like all Houston all the time. Off all those wins, Bills, Colts, Chiefs, like they look unstoppable right now. And, the Cards just got hammered by the Rams. I think Houston should be able to handle them, but 9.5 is a really big number. I don't know if Marvin Harrison's back or not. It doesn't sound like it, but Wilson's been destroying people. But again, I'm going to lean to a team that's rolling a little bit and hope they can cover. I'll take Houston.
Yeah, that heel for Marvin Harrison Jr. is kind of getting spooky for them right now. Other thing that's not great for the Cardinals is the former Buckeye Paris Johnson may miss some time. He's kind of labeled as week to week, and when you're dealing with Will Anderson and Danielle Hunter, that's a scary place to be. So big number, but I'll roll with H-Town, and I will lay those points.
The Jets are at the Jags, and the Jets are getting 13.5.
Jags, man, they got life. They got life in this AFC South now, thanks to the Colts kind of slipping and sliding due to some injuries. And so the Jets just feel like a team that's ready for Cancun. It's a lot of points, though, man. That is a ton of points. I'm going to actually take them just because that's a massive number, but the Jags are going to win that game.
They've won a lot of games here. Overtime wins, all that. I'll give them a lot of credit. I liked them before the season. Then I kind of went away from them. In the overseas game, they looked awful. And now they're coming back again. Jacoby Myers has been big. The defense has been rising up. I thought their defense was bad early. This is the most they've been favored by in a game in forever. Again, it's just too many points in an NFL game. Can't do it. Take the Jets.
The Raiders are making the cross-country trip to the Link to take on the Eagles in Philly. And this is a weird number, too. It's Eagles minus 11.5.
Another massive number. Yeah, it's tough because the Eagles look a little fractured here. And, lose the overtime game, the accusations that Hurts, blew the game for them, throwing that ball on first down. Horrible decision.
They put the rest of the positivity bunny. Did you guys hear about that?
Yes, pour one out for him. So they're averaging, about 16 points a game over the past 5 games? That's awful. And now you want to lay 11.5 to a team that's averaging 16 a game, coming off a short week and an overtime game on the West Coast? I'd like to lean into this as a get-right game for them mentally, and they should destroy the Raiders. I don't know if they're that bad, but Carroll should have them at least showing up. Boy, again, I'll take the points. It doesn't feel right, though.
Just don't know how much fight the Raiders have left in them. I mean, it's so right to bring up Jalen Hurts and how bad that looked and just the vibes all year long. You just never know what you're getting from Philly, and especially on the offensive side of the ball. I just think they're that much better than the Raiders right now, even with all the noise swirling around them. So I'll lay them and roll with the Eagles.
A very gross game in the NFC East with the Commanders, who will be led by Marcus Mariota, at the Giants, and the Giants are laying a field goal.
I think Washington's got to be at a point to where Jane Daniels is done. We'll see you in 2026. I mean, he just came back, hurt the same elbow again. That was tough to see there, especially after an interception, trying to run down a guy and gets mushed to the turf and hurts that elbow again. Jackson Dart and those guys are still playing. I like what they have up front with that defensive line, so I'll lay the 2.5 and roll with the G-Men.
Yeah, I think Dart should be able to run on them. It's not like he's taking that out of his game. Washington, their secondary, they're just not good right now. And the whole quarterback situation, I don't think Mariota's good enough. I don't think he's going to be able to cover the spread here. They feel a little bit toast to most of us, so I'll take the Giants as well.
A massive one in the AFC East. You got the Bills at the Patriots, and Buffalo is favored by 1.5.
So the Patriots' offensive line, I think, is going to be missing a couple key parts here. And this is a little different than when they beat the Bills a couple months ago. So, and if they're missing a D tackle and Milton Williams and a nose tackle, I just feel like, boy, at home, the home field advantage is big here, though. Bills feel pretty confident right now. All right, I'll roll with the team I'm probably going to root for. I'll take Buffalo.
It's interesting because you mentioned, Will Campbell and that crew, those guys probably not ready to go, so that's tough. First time they met Buffalo, Pats only ran it for 3.2 a pop, and that's been a run defense you can get after. This may be that Drake May really closes the gap on Matthew Stafford in the MVP race type of game. Just always got trust in Braves that he'll have things in order. So I'm going to take the Patriots and roll with them.
Drake May, that's my guy. Chargers are at the Chiefs. Chiefs need this one badly, and they're favored by 5.5.
Still or die. Still or die. I mean, this is absolutely it, man. If they lose this one, I think they're officially cooked. Too many questions, though, right now about their offensive line. Just too many for me dealing with, Harbaugh and that crew and that defense. So I'm going to take the 5.5 and roll with the Chargers because I just can't trust what's in front of Pat Mahomes.
And the Chargers just lost on their offensive tackle, too. But they seem to find a way. The spread is what's the killer here. Like, I do believe I would lean into Kansas City. If Rice catches that pass at the end, they lead the league in drop passes. It's not all on Mahomes. But I can't turn away from those points. It just doesn't seem right to do, so I'll take them as well.
We got 2 more 1 o'clock games, and they both involve the Ohio teams. The Ravens are at the Bengals, and the Bengals are getting 2.5. Which side you guys on there?
Well, this is one of those games where
Bengals need it.
We'll talk about Joe Burrow in the last hour, but no, the Bengals, they're playing for whatever. I don't think they feel they're still in it, and that's why the Burrow thing is coming out on how he's maybe lost some joy and motivation here. So I'm going to take Maddie's Ravens here and how badly they do need it.
With where that offense is right now with the Ravens, they're not going to run away from anybody. Lamar has not been efficient at all for over a month. Hasn't had a multi-touchdown game through the air in over a month. And so that, to me, is where I think this Bengals offense and team can hang around. Now, the T. Higgins thing is a big deal. He's back in concussion protocol. Don't know if he's going to go, but I'm going to roll with Cincy in this one at home. I think they get him again.
And the Browns are at the Bears, and they're getting a touchdown.
Browns are getting a touchdown, huh? I would love to say their defense will travel, but after what I just saw at home against Tennessee, that's tough for me to see, but maybe that will lock them back in. The Bears have just been a solid team all year. I'll roll with them on the road, especially a Browns offense that for the most part struggled all season.
Supposed to be about -10 with the wind chill, and the running game will be big, and they just got trucked by the Titans, who were like 31st in rushing, so I'm going to take the Bears. All right, those are our 1 o'clock games. We'll come back with a Buckeye Bulletin right after this. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
Only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Would you enjoy watching a football game if the officials were paid a bonus for every flag they threw? Or a basketball game where the refs got paid for every foul they called? Okay, how about hiring a furnace and AC company that pays its technicians by the number of parts they can sell you? Hi, this is Dennis, president of Care Heating and Cooling, and today, this is how many companies operate. They call it performance pay, and it rewards technicians by paying them more for billing you more. Why is this bad? Because it abuses your trust in a technician to be treated fairly and honestly. At Care, we've been family-owned for 31 years and have always paid our technicians by the hour for repairs. We'll show you exactly what needs to be fixed and why, and give you our low upfront costs before we start. And unlike other companies, our technicians will never be rewarded for throwing more flags. Our Central Ohio-based staff is here for you 7 days a week. Care Heating and Cooling. Book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com or call us at 1-800-COOLING. When you need a company you can trust.
Do you hate holiday pictures because of your teeth?
What if a brand new smile was possible?
No matter what the current state of your mouth.
Welcome to Runyon Dental Group, home of the Implant and Smile Center,
where gorgeous, healthy smiles become a reality.
At Runyon, we've built a team of some of the most highly trained arch and implant doctors in the entire nation. This isn't an ordinary dental practice.
We believe that everyone can have a great smile,
including you, especially you. Your new smile is waiting at Runyon Dental Group.
This holiday season, save time and make memories. Diamond Seller is your one-stop shop for luxury gifts, from diamonds to watches and the finest jewelry in the world. Gift our iconic blue box and enjoy our guaranteed best prices. Visit Diamond Seller on Sawmill Road or at Easton Town Center.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today. Hurry! It's our last chance to donate for 2025.
They say glory is earned, not given. We say it's ignited by heart and ends with a boom. Get your tickets today at BlueJackets.com.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
These savings are so good. Right now, get low lease payments on every model, like a new 2026 Elantra SE for just $119 a month for 24 months. Plus, get owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Go now. Columbus or Dublin or glexhyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus taxes, fees, first month payment, 12 miles per year, ends 1/2/26.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life. There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Morning Juice, real football talk. Just two guys who aren't afraid to say what needs to be said. And that's how she wrote.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Now streaming mornings on YouTube and 10 TV Plus. Attack and dominate.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Airflow Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another furnace breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day furnace installation.
All right, you got the Heisman coming this weekend, and Julian Sayin, of course, is a finalist, and he spoke yesterday, and it's not only for him, it's obviously everyone that knows and loves him, and he was asked who from his family will be joining him.
Yeah, so my siblings will be there, and then my parents will be there, and I believe my high school coach will be out there, and he was a big part of my life too, but my siblings there is important to me because they're a huge support for me.
I wonder if he thought this was going to be possible this year. He had to have heard it, right? But he wasn't, I don't remember the preseason odds for the Heisman, but it wasn't him, really. It was Jeremiah, if anybody.
For a while, even throughout kind of the back end of the summer and the middle of the summer, Jeremiah was kind of slotted before Julian, in the odds there. And so, yeah, who knows? Like, I think a lot of guys would answer, that's probably not something I'm really thinking about because it's so far down the road and it just takes so much of not only your success, but team success and having to stay healthy and all that. But I think maybe next year, that's something that may be a goal for him along with the team goals because now he realizes it's a real thing for him and that he knows he can play at this level. He knows he can play with some of the best. What he did in that Texas game in game one. What he did in the regular season finale up there in Ann Arbor and having to get off the mat after that interception. The amount of confidence he has now and will have moving forward is probably going to be sky high. And he's not going to win it this year. Who knows where he finishes, but that stuff probably doesn't even really matter. Just the fact that, like he said, he'll have some people that he loves around him, and he'll be recognized as one of the 3 to 4 best players in the sport. I mean, that's awesome stuff that you can live with forever and look back at and that'll always be a positive thing for him to think about.
So here, I just found the list. So how many guys do you think were ahead of him in the preseason? Just a number, not who, just how many names do you think were ahead of him? Now, he was tied with one other guy. So let's go with how many players were ahead of those two, him and the guy he was tied with.
I'm going to go with 9.
What do you think, Rhymes?
Say the question again. I'm sorry.
Heisman Trophy preseason odds. How many names in the odds had shorter odds or a better chance to win than Julian Sayin did?
Oh, I think I'm low, AO.
I think I remember this. Yeah, I think it was like.
I think I'm low.
And I only have one list here. It could be.
I want to say 13.
I think he's closer than I am because I'm thinking of just even all the preseason quarterbacks that were getting a lot of love, and that's Klubnik and Nussmeier and Sellers and Arch, and there's four guys right there. And so I think Rhyme Time's going to be a lot closer than I am.
Should have just done 10 for the prices right.
So you shouldn't have changed your answer.
Oh.
It is exactly 9.
Oh, wow. Dang.
It's Arch Manning, Cade Klubnik, Garrett Nussmeier, Jeremiah Smith, Lenoris Sellers, quarterback South Carolina, Drew Aller.
That's right.
That's 6.
Out of sight, out of mind.
Ty Simpson, 7.
Any of the Penn State running backs?
Carson Beck, 8. And one other quarterback, Sam Levitt, who's now leaving, right?
Yeah.
And the guy that Sayin was tied with was DJ Lagway at 22-1.
Okay.
So,
no Jeremiah Love.
Jeremiah Love.
Was he even
35-1?
Was he the high? Did you see any other running backs in that?
I feel like a Penn State running back would have been higher.
No, he was the highest running back.
He was the highest running back. Okay.
And you'd have to go down. No, I didn't see anybody because they were a split backfield anyway.
That's a good call. True. Yeah, good call.
The other Buckeye that was on the list was Caleb Downs at 150-1. But yeah, so he was to be one of the 4 finalists. And here's the other part. So we now know who's there. The guy that I didn't mention was Mendoza.
Oh, goodness.
Who probably will win it, was preseason 60-1.
Jeez.
And who else is there? You've got
Diego Pavia.
So let's see if he was even on the list. I don't even think
Pavia.
I don't even think. Let me see if you could bet him.
He was pretty good the year before, right?
He was on the list.
Yeah.
So he was on the list. 150-1.
150-1.
So at least you'd have some great hedge money, but he wouldn't win it.
Let me ask you this, AR.
Who else?
Real quick, turn in the page. I want to get your guys' take on this. Over under 2.5 Buckeyes in the top 15 of odds next year. So in my mind, that's Julian Jeremiah and Bo Jackson. Will they get over 2.5 guys inside the top 15 of Heisman odds for next year to start the season?
To start the season.
I think Bo might be a little bit more towards like top 20, top 25 maybe, just because of the Julian and Jeremiah love that they'll get.
Just on the outside looking in?
Yeah.
Okay. Which is,
so we'd have obviously saying is going to be.
He'll be top 5.
Might even be.
I think that might be the top 2. Yeah, Julian and Jeremiah.
Yeah.
And because of how much love they're going to get is why I think Bo.
Then you get the split vote, though.
That's tough.
Right? I mean, the receiver has to do even more than the quarterback in a way.
It'd have to be like Devontae Smith numbers.
Yeah.
Going crazy. I have not seen where the Biletnikoff might go this year. Like, not much talk about that. I haven't seen odds or anything like that. Like, I know USC's guy, Lemon, was really good. And, we're talking about splitting votes. Maybe Carnell and Jeremiah maybe hurt each other just a little bit with how good they were. But the Biletnikoff, I haven't seen those odds. I would love to see what that looks like.
I would think he's the favorite, Jeremiah, to win that.
Okay.
I'm trying to think who else. Because Surratt was injured in Indiana a little bit.
Yeah.
The kid, I don't know what Craver's stats are at A&M. He's in the playoff. Who else would be in the playoff? The kid from Bama's in the playoff, Bernard. Cooper was hurt for Indiana in the Big Ten title game.
Be interesting.
USC's not in the playoffs, so Lemon's not in that. So, yeah, I would think it's Jeremiah.
Okay. Fellas, you only get one life, and I want you to listen closely because at the Columbus Men's Clinic, they want to make sure that your life is in order, and especially if you're noticing issues with low T or ED, your relationships, but probably more importantly right now, if you're not in a relationship and dealing with these problems, is your confidence may be low. Let's change that. Get on over to the Columbus Men's Clinic because you have no more excuses after you hear what they have available for you. Check them them out online at columbusmensclinic.com. You can book online in under 30 seconds. They're a medical provider that will build a plan around you and your finances to have you headed in the right direction. So again, if ED's bothering you, low T's bothering you, you can't go out and hoop with the guys like you used to. Heck, you can't even hang out with your friends anymore the way that you used to. Get on over to the Columbus Men's Clinic and let them help you out. Stuff you'll see online, it can get dicey, it's shaky. You can't really trust it. You can really trust in the Columbus Men's Clinic. So again, give them a call at 614-300-7400 right now, or you can book online in under 30 seconds at columbusmensclinic.com.
All right, Bruce Feldman, who is a reporter for The Athletic, will jump on with us here at the top of the hour. And he has just written a big story about the names to watch for Michigan. And he'll tell us what he's been hearing on the Wolverines coaching search. Next, Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Common man, a radio veteran, has a large hemorrhoid. Timmy Hall, a good, clean boy, moonlights as man's hemorrhoid. Common Man and Timmy.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
Bank of America is the nation's leading business lender, and we're ready to help with your next goal here in Columbus. That's why we have over 3,700 local business specialists across the country. Because with the right team, your business and community prosper. What would you like the power to do? Learn more at bankofamerica.com/local business. Bank of America, official bank of FIFA World Cup 2026. Bank of America Corporation, all rights reserved.
The Christmas cash giveaways now at United Dairy Farmers. Registered U-drivers who buy specially marked products like hot breakfast sandwiches, fresh apple fritters, iced coffee, Coke, and Pepsi can play to win prizes instantly. Like freebies, $1,000 each week, and the $15,000 grand prize. Because at UDF is made for you. No purchase necessary. Visit udrivecontest.com for official rules.
Common Man and Bob Capace here for Worthington Jewelers. Bob, why should people trust you for their holiday shopping this year?
Family owned and operated for 25 years. We're known for helping guys make great decisions. Unlike me hiring you, Common Man.
You know, I was thinking, I've been a good, clean boy this year. You got anything for me over there?
How about a nice anklet?
Sold! Worthington Jewelers on High Street in Worthington. WorthingtonJewelers.com, where Columbus gets engaged.
It's really been amazing, the amount of people that I've had contact me, and the talk is generally centered around QC Kinetics, and whether it's a knee, whether it's a back, a hip, shoulder.
He's always happy to talk about how QC Kinetics all-natural regenerative treatments finally gave him relief without surgery. That's former pro football player Bobby Carpenter.
My message to them is do not wait and push off a week, a month, whatever it is. So if you want to feel better this summer, now would be the time to get in. If you want to feel better in the fall, make sure that you're getting in here so you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Spoken by a man who experienced relief firsthand. QC Kinetics gave this former pro athlete back his mobility, his activity, and they'll do the same for you.
Has really helped me in just my general quality of life.
Don't wait. Call QC Kinetics for your free consultation today. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Shop Meijer and bring more special savings to your family's holiday season. Savory Meijer Spiral Sliced Half Ham is just 79 cents a pound with M-Perks. Limit 1 per customer, no clipping necessary. And a 3-pound bag of yellow or red potatoes is buy one, get one for $1. Make sure your pantry is loaded up for holiday baking. A 2-pound bag of Meijer Light Brown Sugar and Meijer 15-ounce pie crusts are $1.99 each. Make the holidays a good deal better at Meijer. Exclusions apply. See all deals in the Meijer app.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. It's cold here in Central Ohio. You know that, Columbus. And if you spent last winter thinking you need new windows, but you didn't want to spend the money, well, it's a good thing you waited. Because right now, during Window Nation's end-of-year sale, you can get 50% off. Plus, get 0% interest for 5 years. Not only could you get affordable custom windows, but shorter wait times mean you'll get them fast. And Window Nation will install them in 1 day while keeping your home warm and dry. Once they're installed, your new windows instantly stop those cold, wintry drafts better than the big name brands. They also seal out moisture and are so energy efficient, you'll actually save money on your monthly utility bills. Plus, they're backed with a lifetime warranty. With such great windows and service, it's no wonder Window Nation has over 45,000 five-star reviews and an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Window Nation's end-of-year sale is your chance to save big with 50% off all window styles plus 0% financing for 5 years. The sale ends soon, so visit windownation.com now to get started. Window Nation, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Matty Ice here. The end of the year has almost arrived, so it's the perfect time to head up to McDaniel GM Superstore in Marion, where the savings are rolling all month long. You can lease a brand new 26 Chevy Equinox for just $225 a month for 36 months with $4,369 due at signing. Or if financing is more your style, grab it for only $225 a month for 84 months with $1,000 due at signing. Certain restrictions apply. They're just off Route 23095 in Marion, or you can visit McDanielGMSuperstore.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Instant classics are exciting, but true legends have impact over time, like how Plant Moran has been counted on by companies and clients for the past 100 years. Counted on for advice by the workwear brand You Zip Up Every Day, counted on for guidance by the zoos and aquariums inspiring the next generation, counted on for a holistic approach to those growing, protecting, and sharing their wealth. From accounting to tax to consulting to wealth management, we're built year after year on the stories and success we help others achieve. Here's to the next 100 years of Plant Moran. Count on us.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Sherrone Moore remains in police custody under investigation for an alleged assault that took place after Michigan fired him yesterday. He will be arraigned and appear in court tomorrow. Moore was fired for an inappropriate relationship with a staffer. The Columbus Blue Jackets looking to snap a 3-game losing streak. They host the Ottawa Senators at 7 tonight. Boone Jenner makes his return to the CBJ lineup after missing 15 games with an upper body injury. Elvis gets the start in goal. Pre-game coverage on the Fan begins at 6:30. The 21st ranked Ohio State women's basketball team hosting Northern Kentucky over at the Shot at 6:30. Tyler Danberg has the call on the Fan too, starting at 6:15. This one brought to you by Germain Toyota, the best selection of new and used cars in Central Ohio. You can view that selection online at germaintoyota.net.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, hour number 3, Rothman and Ice. All right, you know the ongoing saga at Michigan. And we'll have reporter Bruce Feldman on from The Athletic here in a few minutes. But now there's a little bit of speculation that something was really strange, that even though he did the press conference after signing day and all that there's reporting now from ESPN that Sherrone Moore had been acting, quote, strange prior to this shocking firing yesterday afternoon for an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. That's what Michigan is calling it, for cause. And there's been some thought that a lot of uneasiness just around him. People are saying he was acting strange. He was kind of getting on assistant coaches, but not acting in a normal way.
Yeah.
And that's being reported now. And there was an initial investigation that had kind of calmed toward the end of the regular season, right after the Ohio State game, with Michigan obviously losing that game on November the 29th. But I guess it started boiling again, Maddie, over the past week. And then this was obviously a rare move by a school to fire a guy for cause. It's rare you get a statement like the one Michigan had. And it's also rare, and I said this earlier, and I could be way off on this, that it was as explicit as it said. Like, you could have fired him for cause, for personal reasons. You didn't have to say it was an inappropriate relationship with a staff member that led to his firing. And it makes you believe that maybe they have felt that he was lying to them, that maybe this investigation that happened in the summer, the denials, And I don't know, if he comes clean then, does it save his job? I don't know. If he ends the relationship, does it save his job? I don't know. But CBS reported that several prominent donors, and this is when things get real, that they cooled on stroking those big checks to the station or to the university and to the program while the allegations kind of came to light. And so he was 18-8 in the 2 seasons as head coach. This year was 9-3, but he had beaten his rival early, caught lightning in a bottle when he was filling in for Harbaugh. And so, maybe they thought, all right, in an odd way, he may not be the greatest coach, but if he's able to beat Ohio State, he's our guy.
Yeah, and you mentioned that report that's out there now that people around him that are used to seeing him all the time noticed a shift in maybe his energy vibe, whatever you want to label it. My mind kind of went to AR, is that because he was kind of feeling the pressure of this story and this kind of bubbling to the surface a little bit, and maybe he knew that this was happening sooner rather than later. But you touched on one of the most important pieces of this outside of kind of the legal stuff and where that's going to go is like the supporters of the program. You just got to have it. You got to have it because that's how you have to keep up with the Joneses. You can sell the tradition and all the Jordan stuff and all that stuff that they have up there. But they were able to pull one of the biggest recruits away from LSU because they stroked a big check. And so, just obviously an embarrassing situation for him, and he's got to deal with whatever comes his way. And there's just a lot of stuff that's just alleged at this moment. But some of the things that are being alleged are scary and foolish and just all of that combined into one pot. And so, Buckeye fans, I know are out there and looking at this is some karma coming that program's way. If you want to lean into that, fine. This is one of the most, as we know, recognizable programs in the sport that now has a big time mess to clean up, and how they do that is going to be wild to see, because if they don't get it cleaned up quickly, then there's the potential of your program taking some steps back. And when a program has to take a step back or two and you're on the search for a new head coach and all those things, it can take a couple years to recover. And so they got to get things in order quickly for their sake.
And they might be okay. I mean, I don't know if they'd be okay with it. It's probably they didn't want this to happen, I don't believe. But now that it has happened, they didn't want it to happen this way. But it actually helps them financially. If they can get out of the contract, it helps them a little bit. Not that, like you said, they're not worried about money, but they want to get the right guy. And so the fact that they were able to terminate him with cause, effective immediately, will help them financially. Where they are in a little bit of trouble is behind the coaching cycle. Like they're a little bit behind in this. Yeah. So for the people that are claiming that they did this, that they waited till after signing day, like honestly, if they really thought this was coming to a head, and they had a lesser team than Ohio State this year. So maybe they had dreams of upsetting them again and winning their 5th straight. I don't know. But if they didn't and they knew this was coming, they easily could have, in a way, if they really wanted to take the knee. This is our perfect excuse of losing to Ohio State. Like, let's fire our head coach now for cause before the game.
Yeah.
And then don't con me, Biff. Let Biff take over and see if he can catch lightning in a bottle. And if he can't, then you have the built-in thing of, we're somehow, we're not really ahead of the coaching carousel, but at least it's not now. So I know there are people accusing them of waiting till after signing day so all those kids had nowhere to go. And that may be true. But those kids can leave now anyway if there are spots for them. But the way out of it, if they really wanted to get out of it, was to try to get this investigation going faster, not slower. And that way you'd have the for cause stuff, and you could have fired him before the Ohio State game. You lose the game, unless they thought that Bryce Underwood's dream coach is Sherrone Moore, which we don't know. Or
the dream for Bryce was that check that they cut him, regardless of who was coaching. He was coming to Michigan after he saw those millions.
So my view is that they probably had a better reason to fire him sooner, not later. Now, but I understand recruiting is the lifeblood, and they probably wanted to keep all that as tight as possible. But if they were to fire him before the Ohio State game and then lose that game, then it's okay. We went through the scandal. We were going to lose the game anyway, and they probably would have gotten through that a little easier. But now, in a way, I bet they're somewhat happy if they don't think he's the guy. They don't want to go through the embarrassment of the program, but it's really just him. But the program's been embarrassed for a while now.
Right.
Whether it's trying to navigate the scandal from Stallions or the coach on the computer or the president or whatever, like they're a mess. And somehow they've skated. Somehow you still have so many prominent alum. Like Tom Brady coming back for the game. Derek Jeter coming back for the game.
Right.
Like, this wasn't 1 versus 2.
No.
Like, those guys didn't have to come back for this one, like, of all the games, right? Like, but they were on a winning streak. And that's why they did it. Like, you think Tom Brady and Derek Jeter are showing up for that game if Ohio State had won 4 in a row?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
I think I think it had a lot to do with it. Michigan had flipped the rivalry, and their alum were like standing on the boxes, like they were loving
themselves
life.
a little bit,
of course,
for
because
sure.
they hadn't felt that in a long time, and now that they had it flipped, they were trying to ride the wave. So I could understand maybe why they were trying to ride out the Sherrone Moore thing. Because we got it going a little bit now. Things are okay. We flipped the rivalry. We got a basketball team that's very good. Like, things are looking up in Ann Arbor. And then this comes and they just can't navigate this. And it's one guy, but it has collateral damage everywhere. But at the end of the day, this might allow them to say, all right, he beat Ohio State when he was filling in for Harbaugh. How can we get rid of him? He may actually be the answer somehow.
Yeah.
I don't know if they really believe that, but they had to ride that out.
For sure. And also, I think, AR, you could tuck yourself into, as a fan, as a booster, or a member of the collective, whatever you want to label it, the recruiting was rolling too, right? It wasn't like, hey, Harbaugh left and there's his guys that he's coaching up that are leading to these wins. The momentum continued on the recruiting trail, and obviously the big one was Bryce Underwood. So that's something that they got to get in order. But it was just one of those stories, man. It was just unbelievable as the details come out and are continuing to come out, because it just shines him in a really, really bad light. Like, it just really does, as a dude that obviously was a husband and a dad and all that, but just the face of a program and just thinking, the wrong way and doing stupid things that are going to lead to his demise. And who knows what's on the other side of for him, because he was never a head coach before, never a head coach at any spot. And this is the job that you get handed to you, and you just fumble it and flush it down the toilet the way that he did. And so I love that you kind of brought up, AR, just this program's always kind of been in some sticky stuff the last few years. It's just always something with Michigan. And
but winning helps.
Quiets
because
it
of
all.
that, if you're Dusty May, what's your message to your team right now?
Ooh, I mean, Dusty May, he may not even be worried about the football program right now. The way that they're hooping up there, man, I don't even know if you could concern yourself with it.
But
Maybe
you want to make sure that they don't do something wrong.
There's probably a speech there. They can see what can happen to you and us if somebody steps out of line. Yeah, maybe you have to have that type of speech for sure.
Yeah, that's interesting you ask that. I think his message to his guys is, we now have the responsibility to hold up this athletic program.
Yeah.
And you guys should need to take that on as a goal of ours, to not deflect from football, but give people a reason to believe that the program is legit, at least on our side of things. Like, the sad news for him, because, you mentioned something interesting about, he's married with 3 kids and how sad that is. Like, I'm wondering if this story changes at all if he's not married. It really doesn't, in that they still fire him.
Yep.
And it doesn't mean his behavior. Now, I don't know. If he didn't have a wife and a family to protect, does he allegedly act this way? I don't know.
Right.
No one knows. It makes me feel like he does, like his world was crumbling around him. I think maybe a single man could have navigated the behavior part a little better. But I guess there's audio about a call that was made from a Michigan football employee's address. I'm going to guess hers, around 4 p.m. yesterday.
Okay.
And the employee who has worked for the Wolverines for years was the executive assistant to the head coach, which
that was her title.
She
correct?
was.
Yeah.
And the position that Moore held until he was fired, having this inappropriate affair. And now it's unclear whether, if the employee was the woman allegedly attacked, who claimed she was being attacked, or the incident just so happened to take place at her house or at that home. So and then obviously her name started to get bandied about here.
Yeah.
So it goes on to say, by the way, the call goes on to say that the suspect has a knife, and that a U of M detective is either heading to or already on the location. And now we know from police that Sherrone Moore is currently behind bars in Washtenaw County in the jail.
And that kind of fits the timeline when this stuff really started to snowball in a bad way yesterday afternoon into the evening.
And it says later in the audio, real fast, obtained by this Broadcastify, I'm not really sure what that is, but a report that was made that the suspect's wife, said he is suicidal, and it's kind of hard to make out, but it sounds like it's due to, quote, losing his job today.
Okay.
All right.
Well, Bruce, he hit me and said, Obviously, I'm busy right now. Can I get a few minutes? So we're going to try to get a hold of Bruce, and if we can get him on in the next segment or 2:30, we'll try to bring that to you.
We'll do that next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Have a good day. Stay warm. So my teenage son just went to school in shorts and a hoodie. It's 3 degrees. At least I know he'll be warm in our house, thanks to Atlas Butler. If something goes wrong, they'll fix it within 24 hours. They call it their comfort pledge. Ah, you do want the coat.
My phone.
Oh, your phone. Should have known.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
People can't say enough amazing things about Vanscoy Hair Clinics. Men and women struggle with hair loss every day, and they completely change their lives. Vanscoy Hair Clinics is the only company in Ohio that has PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and the multi-unit hair grafting hair transplant procedure. Go to vanscoyhair.com for more info, or call 614-432-8042. Here's what some of their hair transplant clients have said.
Around 26, 27, I lost almost all of my hair on top. It changed my life in ways that I could not imagine.
My hair is going to continue growing for the rest of my life. There is hope that you can do something about your hair loss.
Multi-unit hair grafting gives you 3 times more hair per procedure, saving you time and money. Hair transplants are more affordable than ever, and PRP is a fast, easy, and effective 45-minute treatment for thinning or damaged hair. Call Vanscoy for a free consultation, 614-432-8042, or visit vanscoyhair.com. That's 614-432-8042. Find out what procedure will restore your hair.
Bob Dylan, The Rough and Rowdy Ways Tour. April 9th, Palace Theater. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at bobdylan.com. Bob Dylan, live on stage. Show will start promptly at 8 p.m.
Picture it, your holiday table. The family cooking together, the scent of golden brown bread, rosemary from roasted potatoes, and a salad so crisp it snaps. This season at Kroger, make the moments that matter possible with quality that's affordable in every aisle. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's a great time to save on 2 packs of Kroger butter. 16-ounce packages are on sale for only $5.99 each with your card. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $150 into something bigger when you bet on money line, spread, totals, player props.
$150 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on. Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. T&Cs apply. In-app only.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fraud in government is a crime, and it robs taxpayer dollars. I'm Ohio Auditor of State Keith Faber, and my job is to catch people that lie, cheat, and steal, report suspicious behavior, and help stop fraud. Learn the red flags, speak up, and protect your tax dollars by calling 1-866-FRAUD-OH.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state. The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at onnradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network. Join the Fan weeknights at 6 for the Buckeye Show. And if you're asking if it's just a bunch of homers rooting for all things Ohio State, yes it is. Proud to be your flagship home of the Buckeyes, the Fan, Ohio sports destination. Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Enter Central Ohio. I'm 10 Weather Impact meteorologist Michael Behrens. Your latest forecast. We're looking at a little bit of light flurry activity, but that should end as the day continues. High temperatures making their way into the low 30s this afternoon. Snow chances return tonight and into Friday. Heaviest in southwestern Ohio, but look for some slick spots Friday morning. Temperatures still in the 30s. That's your latest 10 Weather Impact forecast. I'm meteorologist Michael Behrens on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, a little Bet365 time.
Let's lock in because at Bet365, they got an awesome deal for new customers right now where you can bet $5 and you are going to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $150 into something bigger when you bet on totals, spreads, money lines, or player props. And don't miss out on those Super Boost and Daily Boost over at Bet365. Speaking of those, I'm looking at this Bird Barrage boost they got over there right now at Bet365 for Thursday Night Football. Falcons and Bucks. Kirk Cousins, 200-plus passing yards. Bijan Robinson, 50-plus receiving yards. And then Bijan Robinson again to score a touchdown at plus 450. So I like the value in that. I think maybe they'll be chasing later in the game, Tampa Bay, and so Kirk and the gang will have to spread the rock around and throw it a little bit. So I'll go with the Bird Barrage boost over there, AR, plus 450.
Yeah, I like that. Listen, Bijan, I don't think they're going to be very good against running backs catching passes. I think that's a little bit of their weakness, but I had a couple things written down with actually Rachaad White. I wonder if they're going to combo that up, the Tampa Bay will, with Bucky Irving. Yeah. I had Tampa on the money line with Rachaad White getting 7.5 receiving yards for plus 160. Tampa Bay on the money line paired with White going over 18.5 rushing yards for plus 145.
Okay.
I think because if they get a lead, they might run the ball. And then the other one I think is probably decent value because Emeka hasn't been great. And with Evans back, it might actually draw some attention away from him. Mm-hmm. I'm a little worried about Baker, but if he throws a touchdown pass tonight, Emeka at plus 175 for an anytime TD is pretty good value for a guy that has been very quiet for weeks.
Yeah.
Like this could be a wake-up now on a Thursday night.
I can rock with that. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only, must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
All right, let's rock out with the afternoon picks we can finish off our schedule.
I'm a little upset you guys didn't go with the Cy-Hawk basketball game tonight.
We had
if it's free money, let us know.
I'm kidding.
Is it free money?
It's all right.
Okay.
It's all right. I don't know. I think Iowa can keep it interesting. It's a big spread right now. Okay. Everyone's in on Iowa State.
Who won the women's version of this last night?
I didn't tap in.
I saw it was on ESPN. I don't know, but yeah, they're going back-to-back women's last night, men's today. Okay.
So you want us to take Iowa on the road plus 10.5?
It's dicey because Iowa State is rocking right now.
All right. So you want us to take Iowa State and lay the 10.5 tonight?
I got to think on it. Okay.
Okay.
I'll have an answer for you, but I'll tell the truth.
Cool.
All right. 5 425 games. So we got the Titans at the Niners. Niners are laying 12.5.
Niners are laying 12.5 at home against the Titans.
Yeah.
Coming on, they got a late bye week. You got to like that for the Niners.
Yeah.
And they've got injuries, but they're still alive here. They feel decent. I wonder if getting the Titans off of a nice win is actually better here. Like, they've been cracked by a lot of teams, especially on the road. And then the Brownies come, and now they're feeling themselves. Yeah. I wonder if they're going to get a reality check here. I hate the fact it's 12.5. I mean, but Vegas knows what they're doing. Mm-hmm. That's a big number.
Weird numbers too, like not like a touchdown or 2 touchdowns or anything, or a 9.5.
The Niners bye week is what helps me think they could come out of this really focused and ready. And the Titans are still celebrating. Yeah. And I think I'll lay the 12.5.
I love the point of the bye week. I didn't know that they were coming off of a bye. Niners, man, here they are at 9-4, and they're going to be super focused just because you look up in the NFC West right now. It's Seattle at 10-3, Rams at 10-3, so they want to hang around in that mix. And the Niners have done a good job in the division this year, so it's an odd number as you guys mentioned, but I'll roll with a fresh team that I think. If you're Kyle Shanahan, you throw on that Browns tape, and that can get some of your guys' attention, maybe more so than weeks prior to this. So I'll roll with the Niners.
NFC South matchup, the Panthers are laying a field goal at the Saints.
It's a nasty game. Even though, like, the Carolina, every time I think they're down and up, they're still hanging around. I mean, they're identical record as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now. So Carolina's going to be rooting heavy for Atlanta tonight. It's not over for them to win that division. And so because of that, I'm gonna roll with the Panthers right now. What was the spread again? Real quick, rhyme time.
It's 2.5.
Yeah, I'll lay that. I'll lay it.
So the only issue here is something I mentioned, I think, a couple of weeks ago, which is the Carolina, when they're an outright favorite, have lost outright. When they're a favorite, they've lost outright like 11 straight times.
Crazy.
It doesn't, like, when they are supposed to win a game, not only do they not cover,
they don't win it.
They don't even win it. The other thing that would lead me maybe towards them, though, is that the Saints got them earlier. And them sweeping the Panthers doesn't seem... This feels like a trap. That line feels like a trap to me.
Okay.
And what I mean by trap is betting the Panthers and laying the points, because it just seems too low.
Don't they have Tampa next week?
I'm not looking ahead on either one of these teams.
They do get Tampa Bay at home, and then Seattle at home after that, and then at Tampa again after that. So they got Seattle twice. So the NFC South is not over yet.
It's a big look-ahead spot there.
Yeah.
All right. I'll lean into what I mean.
Going against the trend?
Well, trends don't pay the rent, so I might feel like taking the Saints here, but I just can't back the sweep. If they haven't played yet, then maybe, but I think the Panthers at least have some revenge on their minds. Maybe the trend finally ends this weekend. I'll take the Panthers.
Put that on a shirt, AR.
Which one?
Trends don't pay.
Yeah, that's
rent.
a great motto to live by.
Well, they really don't, because something shouldn't affect anything going forward. It really shouldn't.
We got the grandpa game.
It's kind of like the roulette table. I've always had that thing. Oh, wait, 23's come up 3 times in a row. It's the same odds every time. These guys, it's a hot number. Yeah. The reason they put that board up there is so idiots like me will actually buy into the trend of the roulette ball. Like it could come up red 50 straight times. It doesn't mean black's going to come up next.
Correct. No, you're right.
The grandpa game is what I have up next here for us. Potential Phillip Rivers start at the Seahawks, and the Seahawks are favored by 2 touchdowns.
I don't see it. I don't see it. And usually when
Phillip
this
Rivers
happens
against the best defense in football.
The sports guys always humble me when I feel so confident in something. And I'm just so confident that Seattle at home with that defense against a grandpa off the couch, he's not going to be able to do it. I'm going to lay it AR, but I'm just not going to be surprised if they get inside that number and make it weird.
So he isn't Brosmer, but we saw how Seattle treated Brosmer in his first start. Phillip Rivers is a borderline Hall of Famer, but he hasn't played in 5 years, if he is playing, which I don't think it's been established yet. I think he's smart enough, though, to not make horrendous mistakes. And I'm going to buy into the magic fairy dust that might exist, and I'll take the 13.5.
The Lions are in L.A. taking on the Rams, and the Rams are favored by 5.5.
Well, every time you forget the Lions, they come back and they say, we're still here.
Yep.
And the Rams, I mean, Puka looks healthy again. Kyron and Corum look good. They've been a 1-2 punch. A lot of people like them for the Super Bowl.
Huge game,
The Lions rank second in the NFL in yards per rush allowed. I don't love that. But they have Gibbs, and they have a difference maker. How many are we getting?
It's 5.5.
I'm going to root for it. Give me the Lions plus the 5.5.
I'm with AR.
The Packers are at the Broncos laying a field goal.
Packers at the Broncos.
Packers are laying a field goal.
I'm going to roll with the Packers. I trust them at this point. They're chasing that 1 seed, so they'll be really focused.
Feels like a very close game. Packers are pretty smart. They threw a lot from the slot against the Bears. I love that. Denver's won a lot of games in a row, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to, I'm going to err on the mile high. I think there's a difference maker there. Give me Denver.
I've heard from Bruce.
Yep.
I've heard from Bruce Feldman.
Brucey.
He should be ready to go here in the next couple minutes.
All right, so in 2 minutes, we'll come back with Bruce Feldman, the reporter from The Athletic, who's on the case and on the search and where Michigan goes next. Find out in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
Dread the cold, frosty winter weather? You don't have to with a remote car starter from Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Warm up this winter by pushing a button and stop scraping frosty windows and sitting in a freezing car every day. Get yourself the latest remote start and step into a toasty and defrosted car this year. Plus, remote starts make amazing gifts for everyone on your shopping list. Beat winter weather by installing a remote car starter from Columbus Car Audio and Accessories. Morse Road near Easton, Main Street in Reynoldsburg, or columbuscaraudio.com.
Skyline's Mac and Cheese 3-Way is back. This time with white cheddar cheese and creamy cavatappi pasta. Try a Mac and Cheese 3-Way with Skyline's original chili or their new chicken chili at participating Skyline locations for a limited time.
At Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Right now, save on new Santa Fe and Tucson's with 0% financing and make no payments for 90 days. 0%. Columbus or Dublin or glakeshyundai.com with approved credit ends 1/2/26.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. The year is fast coming to an end, and maybe you have been putting off doing something you needed to do for a long time, like replace your windows. Well, it's too expensive. I'm not sure about the cost. I have got a solution for you, and you can get this done before the new year. Take advantage of Window Nation's end-of-year sale right now. They've got 50% off all window styles, plus you could get 0% interest financing for 5 years. And we always talk about the cost efficiency of these windows. They will keep your home warmer in the cold months, cooler in the warm months, because they keep the energy you're putting into your house inside your house. But you know what? They also look great. They've got so many styles that'll help beautify your home and protect it from the harsh elements. So check out Window Nation today. Schedule a fast free estimate now at windownation.com. I trust Window Nation because they get an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. They do a 50-point inspection of every window before it leaves the factory. And oh, by the way, they're a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. I like that too. Schedule your estimate today. windownation.com.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Anthony's hidden talent is weaving a movie quote into every conversation. It's mostly not annoying. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, welcome back. Very busy man, and for good reason. He does a hell of a job. And he's our friend Bruce Feldman, the reporter for The Athletic. He's already posted a great article on The Athletic about Michigan's coaching candidates that we'll retweet off our page, and the names to watch from Kalen DeBoer to Jed Fish and what they're hearing. But we got him now, courtesy of the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fangus Hotline. Bruce, we appreciate you. Thanks.
Good to be on with you guys. Thanks for having me.
So the walls were closing in. Give me a feeling before yesterday how much you think this was hanging over Sherrone Moore and Michigan. Like, I know that we heard about a summer investigation that maybe got put aside and wasn't credible enough. Take us through the timeline of how long you think he's felt those walls closing in on this situation, on this alleged inappropriate relationship.
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't know the answer to that because it's, to try to be in his head on it. I feel like it seemed like it was a pretty poorly kept secret for quite a while. I want to say, I remember hearing a lot about it maybe a month or so ago, and you wondered, is this just rumors? Because there's been definitely other rumors with coaches, football coaches around the country where it seems to take on traction on social media, and then all of a sudden either nothing's proven, it turns out to either be dubious, or there's nothing anybody can kind of do with it. In this case, you'd heard that there was some kind of investigation, but it didn't seem like it turned up anything. And then our reporting at The Athletic was really something changed in in what they were able to confirm in the investigation in the last 36 hours. And then it picked up speed from there. So what he felt at that point, it would be totally speculative on my end on that. But, I will say this. When I heard about it a while ago, I remember thinking it was like, oh, this is it, and didn't realize just how kind of how many people seem to have heard of the same thing at that point too, or maybe not at that point, but over the last couple of weeks for sure.
So, Bruce, as you know, like when these type of stories pop up, there's just so many people digging in on just so many different angles of the story, and there's just a lot of alleged rumors out there. But I just didn't want to ask you about the financial part of it as far as what she was being paid and the increase in pay it looks like that she may have gotten. Can you confirm any of that?
Not on that, no. And, at that point, I think there's a lot of stuff that from an HR standpoint, I think that they're digging into now, or had been about, okay, what's real, what's not, and then all of a sudden, what exactly do we think that means, kind of thing. Because I think at the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff where I think innuendo goes in a direction where I don't know if, legally you can act on innuendo, like on that from a legal standpoint as it comes to something like this. So again, I think we have to wait and see what else comes out. And I think more stuff, with obviously last night, especially there was a lot of stuff, and I'm sure anybody with like a police scanner probably could have checked into certain things too and been like, oh my God, this is happening and that is happening. And it was definitely taking some disturbing turns by all accounts. And now we'll see what happens tomorrow from the legal system as I think a little more information will probably come out from that side of it.
Bruce Feldman with us from The Athletic talking about the Michigan saga here. So your understanding is that he was informed yesterday that he would be fired with cause, and that is what started this whole alleged behavior in the late afternoon yesterday by him. Where do you understand anything that you're willing to report on what occurred by him after he was told he was gone?
Yeah, all we can really confirm at this point was that he was detained, and I think that they're looking into, he's going to be arraigned tomorrow. Whether there's going to be charges or not remains to be seen. At this point, like after all the other stuff was we're checking into it, The Athletic and everything, you're just sitting there going, man, I really feel bad for this guy's family and his kids. No matter what comes out of it, it seemed to have taken such a dark turn. And we'll see what legally comes from it right now, but that's about all we can really get into at this point.
It's obviously really hard to detach this situation from Sherrone's name, but I do want to ask you this, Bruce. If this situation didn't pop up, from your understanding, how on board was everybody up there in Michigan with him continuing to be the guy for years to come? Was he no doubt a guy that everyone was willing to support, the people in the building and the people that are maybe cutting some of the checks up there?
It's a good question. I mean, look, on one hand, if they had beaten Ohio State at home in the regular season finale, they would have made it to the playoff. Obviously, that was a huge if, but they, like you look at it, and I think here's the part I think you have to take into total view with it. So Sherrone Moore was the Michigan O-line coach, and then got promoted up to the offensive coordinator, and obviously Harbaugh went on a run there, and they ended up winning a national title, and then he's going to leave. And because he'd been suspended, and there had been a few games where Sherrone Moore, including at Penn State, had been the head coach of the Michigan Wolverines in big spots. Now Harbaugh still was coaching during the week, but at least acting head coach for the day. And so I think the feeling was, man, when Harbaugh left also, it was a little later in the process, was there going to be a real search or not? They ended up promoting Sherrone Moore. They felt like, okay, we'd seen him in some tough spots, and the team played hard for him. I think there was the expectation also was he was going to have a lot of continuity and keep a lot of these guys when Harbaugh went back to the NFL. One of the biggest pieces I think people thought he would be able to keep was Ben Herbert, who did an amazing job as a strength coach. I mean, we reported early on in that process, Ben Herbert was expected to go with Harbaugh, and a lot of people were like, no, he's staying. And then he ended up going, in fact, with Harbaugh, as did a handful of other assistants. And I think there was some concern about, some of the moves that Sherrone made when he was in charge and running the program. The offense was dreadful as you guys know, last year. It wasn't great this year either, even with a 5-star quarterback and some talented young running backs. I mean, it still struggled, and you wondered if the offensive line certainly wasn't as good as it was, in the previous few years. So from what I had heard from a Michigan source was they felt like the culture had really started to slip inside the program over the last year and a half. And I think that was led to some uneasiness, and so I think looking forward, again, they didn't have a terrible record. I mean, even with the offense being kind of underwhelming, I mean, they're still a top 25 team and still had a chance to make the playoff at the end. But at the same point, I feel like, to answer your question, I feel like there was some uneasiness about Sherrone Moore as a leader with Michigan going forward with a lot of stuff, in turn, including the rumors that we've talked about a little bit, but also even, the product on the field and some of the moves that he had made running the program.
All right, Bruce, I'll leave you with this one. First of all, they want to move quickly, but is your understanding that Ward Manuel is going to hire this coach and that he is, I guess, absolved of any of this, or does anything fall at his feet about how this is handled and who they will entrust to make this hire? I'm assuming it's going to be him. And number two, can they save what they have now with Bryce Underwood and maybe what recruits they did sign? Or do you feel this is a house of cards and whoever they get, this is going to be just a total reset?
I think they could save it, but it depends how quickly they move, right? I mean, if you're trying to get Kalen DeBoer's, coaching in the playoff, in little more than a week. If Kalen DeBoer loses that game and there's mounting pressure on him around Alabama, after what would be a pretty disappointing finish to the year, I don't know. That's a really good offensive coach. And I think that would be attractive to some of the Michigan players to see it. If they go and try to get Jed Fish, who used to be on that staff and is a really good offensive coach, then I could see that being attractive. I mean, Jed Fish is a better offensive coach than what they have in Ann Arbor or have had the last couple of years. So I think, again, it's okay, what are you selling for lack of a better term, the recruits? Because I feel like you almost have to look like you're recruiting the players on your team right now as to what you're selling them. And I think for some of them, I think it's okay, what's this going to look like next year? What are we buying into? And I think, I get it. I get why Ward Manuel's, you're kind of wondering, is he really going to survive this going forward? Because a lot of this stuff has happened on his watch, and it's just a very tumultuous time around Michigan football.
Yeah. All right, 10 seconds. That's all I got. Is Kalen DeBoer really in play from his side, do you feel?
Right now, I would say probably not. Does that change 10 days from now? That's the question.
All right. Hey, man, I know you're crazy busy. This was really nice of you. Thanks for jumping on. Be well.
Always a pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Bruce Feldman of The Athletic and the best-selling author here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We'll come back with Tell the Truth. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're the girthiest radio station in the history of radio. Uncomfortably girthy. This promo is uncomfortable. The Fan, Ohio's girth destination.
Millions of fans agree. This Christmas tradition rocks. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, live in concert, presenting The Ghost of Christmas Eve, the best of TSO and more. December 23rd, 2 shows, Nationwide Arena. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Trans-Siberian Orchestra. A portion of the proceeds benefits the James and Heather Pick Music Program.
Hey, it's Anthony, and it's Happy Honda Days at your main Honda of Dublin. What am I going to give you? How about rates as low as 0%? You want no payments for 90 days? You got it. Do you have a trade-in? I'll make sure Rich gives you an extra $1,000 for your trade. Yep, an extra $1,000. Or I'll slide you right into a brand new Honda with leases starting from only $239 a month. Happy Honda Days right now at your main Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270, or online at yourmainhondaofdublin.com.
Chronic pain can feel like it's never going to end. But at QC Kinetics here in Columbus, there is a new treatment providing rapid relief. It's called stem wave therapy.
It has fundamentally changed
changed the way I look at cases after 30 years in practice. So when we talk about regenerative medicine, we're talking about these types of devices.
Dr. Tony DeCesaro, one of the nation's authorities on stem wave therapy.
So basically, it's a healing machine. They cause the body to help to heal by increasing blood flow.
This is more than treatment. It's hope.
So this device being a healing device, when I talk to my patients about it, I tell them it's diagnostic and therapeutic. We're going to find out today if it's right for you.
Right now, you can try your first treatment for just $49 and see if StemWave is the right option for you. Only $49, with many patients reporting relief within the next day.
It's about giving hope.
QC Kinetics. Harness the power of StemWave and get relief now. Call for your consultation here in Columbus. 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
One of our specialties here at Pella Wilson is getting rid of old, smaller windows with no view and replacing them with huge, beautiful windows that can change the look and feel of your home.
We tried that once, but we cut the hole a bit too big, so we had to put in a garage door instead in their dining room.
Wilson.
Didn't improve the view, but they do have a drive-through now, so you're welcome, Gruball family.
Get the windows that can change the look and feel of your home at PellaColumbus.com.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Guys, thanks for helping me carry my Christmas tree.
Zoe, this thing weighs a ton.
Drewski, lift with your legs, man.
Santa! Did you get my letter?
He's talking to you, Bridges.
I'm not.
Of course he did. Right, Santa?
You know, my elf Drewski here, he handles the nice list.
An elf? I'm 6'3". What everyone wants is iPhone 17. And at T-Mobile, you can get it on them. That center stage front camera is amazing for group selfies. Right, Mrs. Claus?
I'm Mrs. Claus's much younger sister. And at T-Mobile, there's no trade-in needed when you switch. So you can keep your old phone.
Or give it as a gift.
And the best part, you can make the switch to T-Mobile from your phone in just 15 minutes.
Nice. My side of the tree is slipping.
Timber!
The holidays are better at T-Mobile. Switch in just 15 minutes and get iPhone 17 on us with no trade-in needed.
With 24 monthly bill credits for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement 256 gigs, $830. Eligible port in a new line. $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Check out in 15 minutes or less per line. Visit T-Mobile.com.
It's Sunday Night Football on The Fan. Catch the Vikings and Cowboys live from Jerry World. Fan coverage starts Sunday at 7:30.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL, The Fan, Ohio sports destination. All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Right now, get 50% off all window styles from Window Nation at windownation.com.
If you really want the full tell the truth, go try to figure out the list of people that are now coming forward that claim that Sherrone Moore slid into their DMs and revealed the parties he was like. It is now a who's who of like, yep, he was contacting me. Yes, he followed me. It reminds me of a little bit of that Tiger Woods list, right? Of like all these women that came forward. Yeah. And I'm not saying they were all lying. Clearly they had some sort of relationship going on, but now there's a story that an OnlyFans model said that he did slide into her messages, and then it was revealed, if you believe that the Sherrone Moore UMIG is him, I don't know, but they're saying that IG page follows dozens of OnlyFans and Instagram models and anchors and reporters and all sorts of people.
It's a tough look. As Rhyme Time said during the break, if you're into that, get your burner.
Well, why would he follow him as Sherrone Moore coach? Why would...
It doesn't make sense to me unless you just think that you're just above all that and you don't care. I don't know. It's a fair question to ask, AR, and that's...
If he was single, maybe.
Probably doesn't hit as hard. It's not much of a negative look for sure if he was single. But as a married man and a head coach, I guess they are. Even if he was single and he was a head coach of a program, you probably don't want that either. You probably don't want Instagram and OnlyFans models a part of your following list on Instagram, and that's a dicey game. Just ask Shannon Sharp, man. It's not the same thing, I guess, but Shannon Sharp got caught up with a girl on OnlyFans, and I think he had to pay her north of $15 million to quiet that storm. So, yeah, you just got to be smart, man. You got to be smart out here.
All right, I got to tell the truth on Iowa State or Iowa.
All right, which side should we be on?
I am going to go with Iowa. Represent the Big Ten.
Okay.
Take the 10.5.
Fighting Caitlin Clark's, huh?
Torvik has them losing by 9.
Wait, what is that?
Torvik. It's another like Ken Pom
Oh,
thing.
okay. Okay, I gotta get up on that.
They have played on the road. I think so.
Okay.
They have played on the road already at Michigan State, and they got smacked. So I think they'll respond better on the road this time. They are 356th in tempo on Ken Pom. And so I think they'll slow it down, keep it a lower possession game, and keep it within that 10.
Okay, so the fighting Caitlin Clark's versus the fighting Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Both those men and women in Indiana playing basketball.
Elite point guard matchup with Taman Lipsey against Bennett Sturts, Iowa State for Iowa.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. 8 o'clock tip.
Are you offering a money back guarantee? Is this a no sweat rhymer? Is this a safety net bet
From
rhymer?
what I've just cooked, I feel pretty confident in it.
All right. That was good.
I mean, if you think it's going to be that close, though, if Bart Torvik, whoever says that they're going to lose by 9, maybe we tease it up just a little.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine.
Good move.
So we didn't get this pick during NFL picks, and just because I really wanted to play this.
There it is.
Oh, no.
There it is.
Sunday Night Football. Vikings at the Cowboys, and I believe the Cowboys are favored by a touchdown.
All the guys to have on today, right? Drew Pearson. The Vikings. So I guess the Vikings are the first team in 30 some odd years to be shut out and then the next week shut out an opponent. I don't even know if it had ever happened before in the NFL. But they got blanked by Seattle and then blanked Washington.
Wow.
The following
pretty cool.
week. That's
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
Give us a spread again.
It's 6.5 Cowboys. So you're basically getting a touchdown.
CeeDee Lamb's okay?
Great question. In concussion protocol, but he'll have what? This was that 10-day window maybe he was in to maybe recover from that. That's a good question.
Your boy Pickens had a very quiet game. I assume he's going to bounce back.
Got called out by Richard Sherman.
This doesn't bode well for the Vikes on a Sunday night.
Yeah.
I love that
on
for my
the
fantasy
road.
team.
Me too.
Yeah, less than a touchdown, I'd lay the Cowboy. I'd lay the points.
And they're still hanging around the NFC playoff mix, and so this is kind of a gotta have it if the Cowboys want to keep it alive at 6-6. Like if they lose, it's probably over, but if they win and maybe Carolina wins and falls back, there's maybe a slight crack in the door for them.
The other thing that you've got to think about is as much pressure is on him. Now he's got to field questions about what was Sherrone Moore really like. And JJ's got to you're playing Dallas on a Sunday night on the road, and now it's okay. What was it like when he was with you guys? Did you notice anything?
Yeah.
He played well last week. He bounced back.
He did.
That was. I know they played Washington, and it wasn't a big deal, but he was no picks, 3 touchdowns. Wasn't awful.
Yep.
He wasn't even using Jefferson, and he still had a good game. So
I'm going to roll with you, though, AR. I just like the Cowboys at home in this spot, and I just love the addition of Quentin Williams and what he's been able to do. So
it's a must-win for Dallas, too, now.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I am so proud of you. Actually, that may be now my favorite drop ever.
And make sure you let TLC know that you have that so we can keep that around.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I didn't know what you were doing at the beginning of it.
I didn't even know if he knew what I was doing.
I got a little bit at the end, and I didn't know if I should get in your ear and be like, maybe try to get him to do one more, but you did anyway. So that's why I cut the second one.
He got up to his Pro Football Hall of Fame speech and got to the mic, and that's the first thing he did. It was one of the coolest things ever. I remember when he did it for the first time in 2021, how much I liked it coming in here that Monday.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. And the interview was great with Drew Pearson. And AR, if we have more time, Could have asked him about how he was heckling, remember, the Eagles fans at the draft and how great that was. And
that was great.
Like, we could have gotten to all of that.
You know what else was interesting with him? And it's tough when you're doing it live and you got a certain window of time. I don't know if you guys knew this. So his receivers coach at one point with the Cowboys was Mike Ditka.
I did not know that.
Okay, and I would love to ask him if he ever thought at that point Mike was going to be like this legendary head coach. And the other thing, I don't know if people know, his high school quarterback, supposedly the first touchdown pass he ever caught was from Joe Theismann.
Come on.
I swear to you.
So from Joe Theismann to Roger Staubach.
Well, to Tulsa, then to
But the quarterbacks he's worked with, that's
I mean, the fact that they both won Super Bowls, like they were in the same division, like
crazy,
unbelievable.
Yeah, that's wild. Hey, good stuff in truth there. You missed anything from our show? You missed Drew Pearson for Gold Jacket Thursday? Don't worry, you can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. All you have to do is type in Rothman and I. Subscribe to the podcast as well. Coming up on Common Man and Timmy, I've been told they had a show sheet ready to go, and now they've had to pivot to Plan B. Because of Sherrone Moore. So do not move. We'll be back tomorrow.
No doubt. Thanks for listening. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead.